Waco.
Yeah.
Went to university.
You ever split to Texas?
All the time. Every day I'm at USC. I'm kidding.
Did
Ah,
you grow up there?
frick!
Or school there?
I wrote Campbell instead of frickin'.
He went to Baylor for a year before
Dang
going to
it.
SC.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm kidding. I like USC. It's different, and they're both different in their own ways.
I would not trade SC for local school.
I'm trying to think. Was Paul Gonzalez football coach there? Whenever?
Yeah. How do you know Paul Gonzalez?
I babysit his kids.
Really?
He's now at USC.
He's our corners guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is now at USC. Yeah, he was our cornerbacks coach. He's great.
Yeah. I was like, I know somebody who was there. Yeah, babysat his kids this summer.
Yeah, he was at TCU before he came to us.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like he was at Baylor for a hot second. What, 2 seasons?
2 seasons, yeah. Love TCU.
Love TCU.
If I didn't go to Baylor, I would go to TCU.
I wanted to go to TCU, but then a bunch of girls from my school went to TCU, and I'm like, yeah, not it.
A lot of people. I mean, I wish I applied to TCU. I didn't. And it's in DFW, so like, it was great. It has its pros and cons.
Waco's not all bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not like far.
Are you from Texas?
I grew up in Katy.
Oh,
So
nice.
everybody-
Okay.
Yeah.
My cousins are in Cyprus.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was just there in January. Like,
Yeah, I would totally move to Texas actually.
yeah, I love that. If I got to work nationally in my career, I'd probably just live in Dallas or something because it's so central.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't
I
want.
was gonna say I'd work.
You don't want to call games at Golden Wave.
Riptide, welcome back to one of our own. Brady Morgan playing his first full
What do you
season
mean?
in
Oh,
Banana.
I guess it depends on the sport, I guess.
I've heard that Globe Life blocks
Brady
is
is a resident of
so
Laguna
high
Beach
up.
and played for the
I've called a game
Riptide
there.
in 2023.
It's a million miles from
Brady.
home plate.
Nobody told me that. Yeah, so,
Let's hear it for Brady.
Oh, the guy that doesn't like you.
yeah, kind of explains to me.
Fans
He probably
ready
did
to
something
make
upset
available
home.
on the concourse
I asked
to
him
meet
for a
our
ride.
fans. Signing autographs.
Yeah, but I doubt that's the only reason he dislikes you.
Brady Morgan,
Wait.
I don't think he actually did.
alum, and Loco Beach Coconut.
One of our USC alums.
Oh, okay.
It's a long story.
I feel like this game's gonna get delayed. There's no other starting on time.
Yeah.
Which is good because my
Sorry,
school
Seth.
book's not
Yeah, I
done.
was gonna say we have 1 minute.
Just be on your toes. I don't know what the name is. They might literally just walk in.
Where's Adam?
He's not gonna be here this week. I think he said Thursday. I feel bad for him.
Most of them are there.
Yeah, but there was one that I would expect there to be a big crowd for. It'd be this one.
That's true.
What? What? No. Is it? Hold on. One second. On Amazon?
And now, the star time, we ask you to please rise if able, remove your caps, and direct your attention down the field as we honor America with our national anthem, sang by Riptide pitcher Brandon Weiland. Brandon is a pitcher at
Should go
Los
live
Angeles
just for this.
and when he isn't playing baseball, he likes to sing and play guitar in his free time. He's inspired by the artist Kesha. This is his
Wait,
second
what?
time singing the
Says
national
he's
anthem.
inspired by Kesha.
Take it away, Brandon.
Oh, shoot the cam. If anything, we could fix it in between innings, right? Okay. Is he gonna hold this out?
We'll see.
I thought the natty person usually faces the crowd.
Usually.
That's true.
Sam says, Skippy Fire singing, let's go.
Hold out the brave. Come on.
What did he say?
He held out the brave.
He like sweep the cap after. He's like, yeah. Hold on, you want to move this over so I don't catch you with my cord?
Yeah. All right. Let me know. Are we good frame-wise? All right. I think we're ready whenever you are.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys want to start with cam?
Yeah.
Or you can start on field and then switch
then
to
switch
booth
to
cam.
booth,
When he
yeah.
says, like, welcome into the broadcast booth or something. Just give us a thumbs up when we're on cam.
It wasn't the best start to the week for the Riptide with back-to-back losses, but it's been a wild past 2 days. Come from behind win against the number one team in the CCL on Thursday night, and then, of course, the walk-off win last night as the Riptide host the homecoming game here against the MLB Academy Barons. Welcome into the broadcast booth, Avi Singh alongside Aiden Pham. Aiden, what a game it was yesterday. 11 innings, but the Riptide got it done.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, wasn't clean, but all that matters in the end is the Riptide come out with the win. It was a really gritty win against a really talented San Diego Bombers team, and tonight they faced the Barons, who have given them some issues this year.
MLB Academy is 3-1 against Orange County this season as we take a look at the Barons lineup for tonight. Eiji Sawamura in center field leads things off. Elijah Clayton, the shortstop, bats second. Jackson Tyler, a new face for the Barons in left field, bats third. Jason Del Villar, the first baseman in the cleanup spot. Nick Sanders, another new Baron, bats fifth and plays right field. Antonio Lujan is the DH today. He bats sixth. Mark Emmerman at third base bats seventh. Bryce Morrison was supposed to play there, but was a scratch today for the Barons. Isaac Acampo, the catcher, bats eighth. And Israel Espinosa at second base bats ninth. Riptide defense today selected by Brian Evans. Hunter Harrington in left field. Trajan Rogowski in center. Jarrett Sable in right. Bradley Boudreau at third. Slater Nunez at short. Connor Barth at second. Cooper Klauser at first for the second game this season. And Nate Pone does the catching for a guy that makes his first start all season for the Riptide in A.J. Frosto.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for A.J. Frosto. He finally gets the nod from Brian Evans, and his first opportunity to really start a game. He's been out of the bullpen in every appearance so far.
7 games on the season for Frosto, but in his 8th, it's his first start. And he starts it off with a pitch high and outside to Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura, 5'9", 170 senior from Matsuyama, Japan. Hitting .282 through 19 games, 20 hits, 9 RBIs. He'll take a strike inside to even the count at 1.
Well, every time it feels like these two teams face off, it's a good battle. Key tonight is going to be starting fast, and that's what the Barons look to do right here.
Frosto, a guy that is very fast out there on the mound. He will pump pitch after pitch. And he does so there and misses high for a 2-1 count. Sawamura, a guy that you don't want to get on the base paths. 16 stolen bases on the season. A true speedster out in center field. He'll take the 2-1 outside. Last time these two teams played at Great Park, it was on Father's Day. Barons would come out with the win. Sawamura made an excellent diving stop in center field. Part of that winning effort for the Barons as he works a leadoff walk. So Sawamura takes first base to be in the ball game, and another speedster due up in Elijah Clayton.
Perfect start for the Barons. That's going to be key for A.J. Frosto. Throughout his career, the walks have been an issue for him, a number he's going to try to keep down, see if he can bounce back against Clayton here.
6th walk of the season right there for Frosto. Here's Clayton at the plate. 270 average through 17 games, 17 hits, 6 RBIs. Frosto checks Sawamura over at first. 5.93 ERA for A.J. Frosto in his 7 appearances. Came into this game with 13.2 innings of work. He's given up 20 hits on the season. As Clayton swings it back, and there's the first strike of the at-bat. 6 walks, counting the one from Sawamura, 15 Ks for Frosto.
First start, but I think we can start to expect a lot of different guys get their first starts at this point in the summer as the pitching staff changes.
So we mentioned the 20 hits for Frosto, but there were 7 hits given up in his last outing. It was on the 5th against the Philippines. In 3 innings of work for A.J. as he misses outside and low. 1-1 count, ducked down on the mound. Looked like Pone was going to throw to second, but Sawamura decided to stay put at first base.
That's what he does. He keeps you on your toes, Sawamura, the speed on first.
Sawamura, 16 stolen bases. Clayton with 20. 2 guys you don't want to get on. One of them is already aboard. As the stolen base king and Elijah Clayton takes outside, it's a 2-1 count. So command has saluted A.J. Frosto here in his first start all season with the Riptide. No pitch outside. Sawamura takes off. Throw to second. Tag in time for the out. Heads up play from Nate Pone. Throw to second. Great tag by Connor Barth. And Sawamura goes down for the first out on a caught stealing.
Excellent job from Pone, the catcher, today. He gets tested, and he answers the call for a big out number 1 against a really good base runner.
So Frosto's job is a lot easier on the mound, but he's down in the count 3-1. Clayton lifts this pitch up in the air out towards left field. Harrington backs up near the warning track, makes the catch in the sun for the second out.
Sun still out at the Great Park, so that's something that these outfielders are going to need to adjust with, but Harrington does so great there.
Here's Jackson Tyler. 15th game of the season with the Barons. It was a later addition on their roster. Taking over for Nathaniel Williams, who is one of the best hitters in the CCL, as Tyler is smacked it square in the shoulder on the first pitch he sees. So another free pass given up by A.J. Frosto, one via the walk on the leadoff batter in Sawamura. Now the hit by pitch here with 2 outs in the top of the first.
It was a close one there. Could have got the knob of the bat of Tyler, or it might have hit him. Home plate umpire Dewey Bratcher says it got a piece of Tyler.
So Tyler heads over to first. He's the base runner with 2 outs. And another situation with runners on for A.J. Frosto here in the top of the first, but not before Jackson Tyler was checked on after he was plunked in the front shoulder. Just making sure everything's okay out there. He looks to be fine.
Yeah, better to be safe than sorry in these situations. Just go out there and check on the player and make sure he's all right.
So Tyler stays in the game and stays at first for the Barons. 2 out, base runner aboard for one of the premier hitters in the CCL. Jason Delviar up to bat. .293 average for the Barons first baseman in 22 games of work. 24 hits, 14 RBIs, and 4 home runs on the season.
Just outstanding numbers for the first baseman here.
We'll see what he can do with Tyler aboard after the hit by pitch. A.J. Frost still looks to get out of the inning. From the stretch, fires, clips the inside edge for strike 1.
That's big for A.J. Frosto just to see that first pitch fire in for strike 1.
I mentioned Frosto's last start against the Philippines, or rather last outing. This is his first start. Swing and a miss, throw to second, tag, in time. Nate Pone, Connor Barth on the same page twice in the inning. A.G. Sawamura, leadoff base runner, caught stealing at second. Same thing happens here to Jackson Tyler. That's how the top of the first comes to a close. We stay scoreless. Riptide up to bat for the first time as we go to the bottom of the first. Bobby Singh alongside Aiden Pham here with you for the bottom of the first inning. Riptide got 2 of their 3 outs in the top of the first defensively via caught stealings at second base. So Brian Evans' squad will come up to bat here in the bottom of the inning. Here's the lineup today selected by Coach Evans. Trajan Rogowski back in the starting lineup after missing some time with a shoulder injury. He'll lead off and play in center field. Jarrett Sable follows behind him. He's in right today. Cooper Klauser at first base for the second time this season, bats third. Connor Barth, second baseman in the cleanup spot, bats fourth. Tatum Marsh, the DH today, bats fifth. Bradley Boudreau at third, bats sixth. Hunter Harrington in left, bats seventh. Slater Nunez at short, bats ninth. And bats eighth. Nate Pone bats ninth and does the catching for Frosto. Defense for the Barons today, Jackson Tyler in left, A.J. Sawamura in center, Nick Sanders in right. Mark Emmerman at third, Elijah Clayton at short. Israel Espinoza at second, Jason Delviar at first. And Isaac Ocampo does the catching for the righty Jimmy Cannelly. It's Cannelly's 5th appearance with the Barons this season, 4th start. 5.84 ERA and 12 1/3 innings of work. 8 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned, 3 walks, and 17 strikeouts on the season. Trajan Rogowski back in the lineup after missing some time with that shoulder injury, leads things off. First pitch to Rogowski. He'll check his swing. Pitch misses for ball 1. .295 average on the season for Rogowski. 13 hits, 2 RBIs. Came in as a pinch hitter in last night's game during extra innings. Reached on a very close pitch that was ruled ball 4 with a full count for a walk. As he takes inside for strike 1. Stole a base to get to second. He was stranded there. That was in the 10th inning for the Riptide when they came back to tie the game, after the Bombers took the lead in the top of the inning. Rogowski takes inside. It's a 2-1 count. Aiden, we mentioned the shoulder injury. It was sustained during the CCL All-Star game. He said he felt his shoulder pop. Rogowski did. He was out for a little bit, but he's back in defensively. 2-1 from Canley is swung on and missed.
Yeah, it was on a stolen base attempt, and Trajan Rogowski got banged up, so he missed some time, but it's a good sign for Orange County that he's back, a guy that the Barons want to avoid having on the base paths.
12 stolen bases on the season for the speedy center fielder Rogowski. Counts even at 2. Here's the pitch. Drop back foul. Canley's last appearance was on June 30th against the San Diego Bombers, so it's been quite some time for him on the mound. 3 innings of work in that game, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 4 Ks against Scott Stanley's Bombers, who the Riptide beat in extra innings last night. 2-2 from Canley. Hit hard out towards right field. That's a liner for a base hit. Trajan Rogowski starts the day off with a single. Both teams have gotten the leadoff runner aboard here in the first inning. And with Rogowski at first and nobody on, here's Jarrett Sable.
It's a good sign for Orange County. For most of that game last night against the Bombers, this Riptide lineup was stone cold, and a good start for Rogowski to get hit number 1 in his first at-bat.
You mentioned the sluggish start yesterday for the Riptide offense, but a guy that provided a spark plug off the bench in extra innings at the plate in Jarrett Sable. Working with Rogowski at first and no outs. Riptide look for the first run of the game as Sable swings and misses for strike 1. 247 average for Sable through 24 games, 20 hits, 16 RBIs. Leads the team in strikeouts, however, with 28. Something you got to watch out for out there with Jarrett Sable. A 1 from Canley. Rogowski takes off. Check swing from Sable. He went. Throw to second, not nearly in time. 13th stolen base of the year for Trajan Rogowski. A stolen base now in back-to-back games for him.
Got a good jump Trajan Rogowski did on first base, and Riptide have a runner in scoring position for a hitter in Jarrett Sable that can do a lot of damage.
Sable was one of the heroes of last night's game. Pinch hit to start the bottom of the 10th inning, down by a run, and swung on the first pitch into right field for an RBI game-tying double. Works with Rogowski in scoring position after a stolen base. 0-2 from Canley. Taken inside for strike 3. And Sable is frozen at the plate for the first out here in the bottom of the first strikeout of the day for Canley.
Ready to bounce back after giving up the leadoff single to Trajan Rogowski for Canley.
So Jarrett Sable 1 strikeout away from 30 on the season. That brings up Cooper Klauser. Another premier hitter this season in the CCL. 378 average, 28 hits, 14 RBIs. He swings the first pitch he sees out to left for a base hit. Rogowski is being held up at third by Eric Coleman. So he'll stay put over there. A single for Cooper Klauser, second hit in the inning for the Riptide. Runners in scoring position with 1 out for Connor Barth.
Well, Cooper Klauser, Avi, has been one of the most consistent hitters in the lineup all summer long for the Orange County Riptide, and he still is here towards the middle of July. Once again delivers, and another good start for him.
Well, Klauser came into the game working a 5-game hit streak. He extends it to 6 there on his first hit of the day here in the bottom of the first inning. So with runners on the corners and 1 out, the Riptide look to strike first. Can Connor Barth be the guy that gets them on top here in the first inning? 217 average on the season for Barth. Takes outside for strike 1. Good pitch from Canley on the outer edge. It's been quite slow at the plate for Connor Barth over the last 2 weeks. He's looking to get back on track at the plate. Swings and misses at the 0-1. Canley quickly ahead in the count.
Connor Barth looking to bounce back from a game yesterday where it wasn't his best game. But some work to do, down 0-2.
Had 2 errors defensively for the Riptide on Thursday's game against Santa Barbara. As he takes outside, it's a 1-2 count. It was a game that the Riptide had 4 errors in, yet they worked all the way back with just 1 hit and those 4 errors in 6 innings to win the game in the bottom of the 7th and bottom of the 8th. 1-2 from Kennelly. Lifted in the air our way, foul. So Barth stays alive at the plate. Looks to at least bring in Rogowski, who's over at third for the first run of the game here with one out and runners on the corners. Tatum Marsh, who's had a great 2 weeks at the plate, on deck. 1-2. Taken outside. Good job by Barth to lay off as he checked his swing.
Well, the Barons are actually a team that Connor Barth has played better in for the most part of this season. 4 walks against him, 3 hits. He's also been on via the hit by pitch.
We'll see what he can do here with an even count. Kennelly kicks and deals. Barth dribbles it back foul and stays alive. A good battle he's putting together.
Good job by Barth to get the pitch count for Kennelly, the starter, up here in the very first inning.
13 RBIs on the season for Barth. And love to add one more to his total with Rogowski at third base. As the Riptide look to strike first here on the Orange County homecoming game, when we celebrate 10 years of Riptide baseball. 2-2. Lifted in the air out towards center field. A high fly ball. Sawamura on his high horse shuffles to his left, makes the catch. Rogowski tags. He'll score with ease. Riptide take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first on a sacrifice fly from Connor Barth. Job well done to get the run across.
Well done is right. Connor Barth sent it way out towards center field, plenty deep enough for Trajan Rogowski to score from third, and Orange County takes the early lead.
So indeed, Connor Barth gets his 14th RBI of the season. Cooper Klauser still at first with 2 outs for Tatum Marsh. Kennelly fires and misses on a slider outside. Marsh has been one of the better hitters in the Riptide lineup over the last 2 weeks. .222 average. He was off to a slow start, but he's really picked it up at the plate. 1-0. Outside for strike one. It was Marsh who had an RBI double in the 7th inning on Thursday. Gave the Riptide some hope against the Foresters when they had struggled offensively all game. And it was his hit that fueled the comeback effort in the 8th inning. Kennelly fires 1-1. Outside for ball 2. Tatum Marsh from Stanford University had a tremendous freshman season with the Cardinal at .377. Got nods from Perfect Game and Baseball America on their freshman second teams. As he lifts this pitch foul. Sophomore year was a sophomore slump for Tatum Marsh. Hit just .215. But the way he's picked it up at the plate, he looks a lot more like his freshman year self.
It's been a good stretch, that's for sure, for Tatum Marsh. Like you mentioned, a slow start to the year, but he's really finding his groove.
Looks to get on base here with 2 outs and Klauser at first. Riptide already up 1-0 after the sacrifice fly in the last at-bat from Connor Barth. 2-2 from Kennelly. And this is way outside and low. Good block in the dirt from Isaac Ocampo behind the plate to prevent Klauser from advancing into scoring position. But Kennelly has to work with a full count. 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. He's already surrendered a run here in the bottom of the first. Here's the payoff. Klauser takes off. Pitch outside for ball 4. Tatum Marsh works his 5th walk of the summer. Runners at first and second with 2 outs for Bradley Boudreaux.
A lot of really good at-bats from the Riptide to begin this ball game. Now you got 2 runners on, and Orange County has only scored first in 12 of their 31 games so far this year. They've usually played from behind, but it's got to be a good feeling when you strike first.
Here's a guy who looks to get a good feeling at the plate in Bradley Boudreaux. Hitting just .162 this summer in 16 games. Kennelly looks towards Klauser at second and fires. Boudreaux lifts the first pitch he sees, foul over the Riptide bullpen. Hasn't been the best summer offensively for Bradley Boudreaux, but what he's lacked with offense, he's certainly made up for with his defense in the hot corner.
Yeah, he's been a big contributor for the Riptide at third base. Nunez not there tonight, so it's Boudreau's turn.
Of course, Slater Nunez playing right next to him in shortstop tonight. 0-1 to Boudreau. Swinging and a miss on a pitch down low. Cantley one pitch away from ending this first inning.
Yeah, you mentioned not the summer that he liked to have. Strikeouts have been an issue for him. He tries to avoid doing so right here.
13 strikeouts on the year for Boudreau. As you said, he looks to avoid number 14. Cantley checks second. Here's the payoff. Bounces inside and low. Bradley Boudreau from Mater Dei, one of the premier athletic schools in Southern California, of course famous for their football program. Committed to Fordham, but did not play for the Rams this past season in his freshman year. Getting some experience here this summer before heading back to the Bronx. 1-2 to Boudreau. Lifted in the air, foul, he stays alive.
It's another lengthy battle here for the starting pitcher, Jimmy Cantley, and a 1-2 count. Bradley Boudreau has a chance to deliver some more runs for the Riptide, who are trying to just stretch out the lead.
Riptide have made Cantley work here in the first inning. Nearly 30 pitches already on the mound. Just trying to find any way he can to get out of it and prevent more damage on the scoreboard. 1-2, high in the air out towards right field. Sanders barely has to move as he makes the catch and puts an end to the bottom of the first inning. But the Riptide strike first on a sacrifice fly from Connor Barth. 2 hits and a run in the inning for Orange County. They work with a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the second. Top of the second, this half inning brought to you by the Chick-fil-A in Woodbury Town Center. Tied up 1-0 already through 1 inning, thanks to the sacrifice fly from Connor Barth to bring in Trajan Rogowski. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the MLB Barons. Jason Delviar leads off and swings and misses at the first pitch from A.J. Frausto. Delviar followed by Sanders and Lujan, 2 righties and a switch hitter who will be hitting left against the righty A.J. Frausto. Shakes off Nate Pone not once but twice and fires. No miss outside. It's a 1-1 count.
Well, it wasn't a perfect first inning of work for A.J. Frausto. Did walk somebody and hit a batter, but his catcher Nate Pone really bailed him out.
Delviar, if you recall, was at the plate in the first inning, but he couldn't do anything because of the caught stealing to end the inning as he skies a ball out towards left field right into the glove of Harrington for a quick first out here in the top of the second. So Delviar is retired, not in the first inning, but here in the top of the second. That's the first out of the inning. Nick Sanders steps up to the plate. Sanders, the beer batter tonight here at Great Park. Big crowd here for this homecoming game. 458 average, 11 hits, 5 RBIs through just 7 games. Another late addition on this Barons squad.
Rides a 6-game hit streak into this one, so he's made an immediate impact for the Barons.
We think about the guys that have departed for the Barons, Nathaniel Williams, Chip Mertz, 2 impact players. In comes a guy like Sanders, who's carried the weight and then some in their stead. We'll take low and outside for ball 1. Frausto deals quickly, 1-0. Smacked in the air out towards center field, a high fly ball into the glove of Rogowski. 2 outs in the inning. And a much better inning it's been for A.J. Frausto. Walked the first batter he saw in the last inning, but here he gets back-to-back outs.
Yeah, induces the fly outs. Efficient work, so getting these outs pretty quickly for Frausto.
So Sanders is gone. Both hitters have flown out to get out here in the top of the second. There's the switch hitting designated hitter and Antonio Lahan. Swinging as it misses at the first pitch outside. .324 average through 20 games, 23 hits, 17 RBIs. Played in just 3 games this past season for Azusa Pacific. Lahan's gotten much more action here this summer with the academy as he lifts the 0-1 into the air out towards shallow center. 3 Riptide converge on the baseball. It's the shortstop Nunez who makes the catch, and that's how the top of the second comes to a close. 1-2-3 out inning for A.J. Frausto, his first of the game. Riptide already up 1-0. What can they do to extend this lead when we go to the bottom of the inning? Bottom of the second, this half inning brought to you by our friends at First Class Pizza in Woodbury Town Center. Jimmy Kennelly back on the mound for the Barons. Already gave up a run to the Riptide in the first inning. Orange County looks to replicate that in the second with the bottom of the order due. Hunter Harrington, Slater Nunez, and Nate Pone, a trio of righties against the righty Jimmy Kennelly out for his second inning of work. Harrington, who makes back-to-back starts for the Riptide, leads things off. Swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. Foul tips it back into the glove of the catcher, Ocampo.
It was a really good first inning for the Riptide. We're able to see a lot of pitches from the starter, Kennelly.
2 hits and a walk for the inning. An inning in which Kennelly nearly threw 30 pitches as he heaves the 0-2, or rather 0-1 outside to make it an 0-2 count. Harrington started in center yesterday. He's at left field today for the Riptide. At the plate within 189 average. It's the 0-2 foul over our heads in the press box.
That's what we saw a lot of in the first inning. The Riptide fell behind in the count. Kennelly struggled to find his put-away pitch, and the Riptide did a nice job of just fouling off ball after ball.
Plenty of competitive at-bats for Orange County in the last inning. Look to do the same here in the second. Kennelly heaves the 0-2 home, misses outside, but Arrington chases. There's a strikeout, second of the game for Kennelly. First out here in the bottom of the second. So with one out and nobody on, here's the Riptide shortstop, Slater Nunez.
Slater's had himself a couple really good games for the Riptide, especially against the Barons where he's 3 for 4.
Comes into the game hitting .250 on the season. Swings and hits the first pitch out towards the shortstop, Clayton, a chest-high throw at first for the second out. A pitch and an out for Slater Nunez. He'll head back to the Riptide dugout. 2 outs and nobody on for Nate Pone.
Well, Nate Pone has already made an impact on this game behind the plate as the catcher. See what he can do with the bat now.
Yeah, you mentioned the defensive ability from Nate Pone. Had 2 connections with Connor Barth that second and that top of the first inning to get 2 caught stealings. First he got Salamura, and then Tyler as he takes inside for strike 1. Pone hitting .290 on the season through 11 games. 9 hits, 4 RBIs. Back-to-back starts for him as well. He played left field yesterday for the Riptide. Lines the 0-1 foul out towards right field.
He said it had been about 4 years since he had played in left field, but he looked comfortable out in the outfield for the Riptide last night. Really good game from him all around.
He's looked comfortable all summer long for the Riptide. Speedy guy out there in Nate Pone. Just get aboard with 2 outs. Kennelly's payoff takes a hop in the dirt. Nate Pone played at Fullerton College this past season. .318, 41 hits, 27 RBIs, and 2 home runs. It's good enough for him to take his talents to Utah Tech next season, where he'll play with his Riptide teammate Brandon Weiland. 1-2. Cued out towards second, a bouncer into the glove of Espinoza. Throw to first for the third out. Riptide go down 1-2-3 in the second. A bounce back inning on the mound for Jimmy Kennelly. Through 2, Orange County leads 1-0.
Thank you. I love this song.
What song is this?
I don't know. It's catchy though. Or no, it's called Home. What in the world is this game?
There's a lot of dogs at the ballpark today. It's not even that bark and bark. I think it's a dog.
Oh, wow.
When is bark and bark? Is it next week or the week after?
Oh, it is.
For the way it is.
That is a waste. Dang, the guy in yellow literally has it down.
This is fan saves, the next ad. Do you have the QR code on there?
If not, you could just put the logo up. I don't think anyone scans the.
Yeah, that's what I asked you guys. Is how many people have scanned the QR code?
Yeah, just put the logo up.
Okay.
It's fine. Dang, how long is it gonna take for them to? Sorry, are we coming back?
Not yet.
Oh, we got time. Yeah.
Yeah, we have plenty of time. As Ben Simmons once said. Yeah, if you can.
This is some game, guys.
Yeah, what is the point of this? Is it like who gets the most streaming at the end?
None of them finished. I give it to yellow. All right, let's come back, guys.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah, let's come back. Top of the third inning. This half inning brought to you by Fan Saves. Scan the QR code on your screen for more info. Obviously, alongside my USC broadcast partner, Aiden Pham. We're through 2 innings. Riptide took an early 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first on a sacrifice fly from Connor Barth. A.J. Frosto, the starter, through 2 innings, back out for his third. We'll take on the bottom of the Barons order Mark Emmerman, Isaac Ocampo, Israel Espinoza. Trio of righties against the righty and Frosto. Fires a strike outside to begin the inning. Mark Emmerman hitting .302 on the season, 13 hits, 8 RBIs. He was a late addition to the lineup. Bryce Morrison was on the card scheduled to start at third. He was scratched for Emmerman, who's out here for the Barons.
Good start for A.J. Frosto. He looked really comfortable in his second inning of work, and he comes out and jumps ahead 0-2 against Emmerman.
It was a bounce-back second inning for A.J. Frosto. 1-2-3 out second on the mound. Looks for a quick first out, up 0-2 in the count. Can't get it there as the pitch goes hopping in the dirt. Frosto walked the first batter he saw in the game in A.J. Sawamura, who was caught stealing at second. And a fly out on the second batter, and Elijah Clayton hit the third, and Jackson Tyler, who was also caught stealing in the first to end the inning. Nate Pone has been great as always for the Riptide behind the dish as the 1-2 is popped up high into the night sky. It gets out of the reach of Pone at the net. So Emmerman stays alive at the plate. As the sun slowly begins to set here at Great Park. It's been a rather overcast day in Irvine.
Yeah, it was pretty cloudy during batting practice, but the clouds have shifted to the left of the ballpark, and really cool night for some baseball.
Frosto shakes off Pone twice and gets his sign. 1-2 payoff to Emmerman. Poked out towards short. One bouncer, good glove of Nunez to reach high and grab the ball. Throw to first. There's the out.
Well, Stater Nunez did the right thing. He made sure to let it one hop. I think the bounce was a little higher than he thought it was going to be, but like you said, Avi, gloves it and makes the throw.
It was all about the reaction time on the bounce for Slater Nunez. Did his job there for the first out. There's the catcher, Isaac Ocampo, with 1 out and nobody on. Ever since Frosto hit Jackson Tyler back in the first inning, it's been 4 straight outs on the mound for him as he misses inside and high. Ocampo, 179 average through 12 games. 5 hits, 8 ribbies on the season. 5'9" junior from Anaheim, California. 1-0. Check swing on a pitch outside in the dirt.
You mentioned the batting average. Slow year for him, Ocampo, but this week he has had a good one. 2-game hit streak entering this one, so see if he can keep it going.
Frosto takes a deep breath on the mound, fires the 2-0. Slashed out towards third. Chest high hop to Boudreau. Barehanded throw way offline over the head of Klauser. It was always going to be a tough play at third for Bradley Boudreau as Isaac Ocampo reaches first. We'll see if he extended his hit streak to 3 games there if Boudreau's credited with the error. And it is indeed an error by Boudreau. So Ocampo will have to hold off just a little longer to try and extend his hit streak. E5 puts him aboard with 1 out for Israel Espinoza.
Yeah, it took a bounce off the chest of Bradley Boudreau, got away from him, he picked it up, and the throw was way offline.
So Frosto works for the stretch here in the 3rd inning. First pitch to Espinoza, lined out past the shortstop Nunez for a base hit. Runners at first and second for the Barons with 1 out as the lineup turns over and the dangerous A.J. Sawamura steps up to the plate.
That's what the Barons do excellent. The small ball, base hit after base hit, advance the base runners. They also make you pay when you make miscues against them. Orange County, their 3 errors against the Barons in that last meeting allowed the Academy to come back and eventually walk it off.
Espinoza wasted no time at the plate. First pitch swinging for the hit. Puts the tying run at second base and Ocampo. Espinoza at first after a single. A.J. Sawamura at the plate. Walked in his first at-bat. He was caught stealing when he tried getting over to second. Lifts the first pitch he sees in the air out towards right field. It drops fair for a base hit. Good piece of hitting from Sawamura as he hustles towards second. Ocampo's waved home. Espinoza stopped at third. Sawamura tripped up on the base paths. Throw home to cut off Espinoza. RBI double for A.G. Sawamura. All knotted up at one here in the top of the third.
That's great execution by Sawamura. You get base runners on and just flares it out towards right field, way out of the reach of Sabo into the corner, and we're knotted up.
Fourth double of the season for A.G. Sawamura puts him at second. Runners in scoring position with one out for another hitter to watch out for in Elijah Clayton. 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to Harrington in left field in his first at-bat. Frausto, a guy that works rather quick out there on the mound, takes his time. Has to be cautious with runners in scoring position. First pitch outside on the edge for strike one. Elijah Clayton, 17 hits on the season. Looks to add another one here and bring in Espinoza to take the lead in the third inning. Pokes the 0-1 back foul. Started off at Cal. Played in 21 games up in Berkeley his freshman season. Hit the portal and went all the way to South Carolina, where he would play in 46 games this past season for Campbell. At .256 for the Camels, 21 hits, 20 RBIs, and a homer. Of course, his father, Royce, was a longtime MLB player. Also a shortstop himself. 0-2. Check swing, pitch outside. Clayton stays alive.
A.J. Frausto wants to get the out here of Elijah Clayton. Don't want to load up the bases or give Clayton the opportunity to do some more damage in this inning.
Barron's lineup dangerous as ever with Jackson Tyler on deck as Frausto deals the 1-2, misses high and outside. So the count's even to Elijah Clayton. Ocampo at third Ocampo scored after he reached on the error. It's Espinoza at third. Sawamura at second, who drove Ocampo in. 2-2. Takes a hop in the dirt. And Clayton works the count full. Frausto keeps spiking his pitches in the dirt. You wonder if it's the release point or perhaps a lack of command. We'll see if he can find his release point here with a full count. Could walk the batter and set up a force at any base with one out. Here it is. Outside for ball four, he'll do exactly that. The speedster and Elijah Clayton gets to first base on a walk. 2 walks given up on the day now for Frausto. Jackson Tyler at the plate.
Excellent at bat by Clayton. Down 0-2, battles back and ends up drawing the walk. And A.J. Frausto finds himself in a jam here.
So with the bases loaded and one out for the Barons in the top of the third, an excellent opportunity to take the lead. Jackson Tyler at the plate, reached in his first at-bat on a hit-by-pitch. He'll take a fastball outside. Tyler comes to the Barons via San Diego State. Redshirted with the Aztecs this past season. He's getting some action here this summer. Big opportunity with the bases loaded. Swings and misses at the 1-0. Looks like he may have gotten jammed there. Had to drop his bat and shake off his left hand. So he steps back into the batter's box looking to do some damage. Espinoza at third, Sawamura at second, Clayton at first after his walk. 1-1. Flips the outer edge for strike two. Good pitch from Frausto on the upper corner.
A.J. Frausto looking for that put-away pitch right here for a big out number 2.
Another power hitter and Jason Del Villar on deck for the Barons. Frausto ahead in the count here on Tyler. Here's the 1-2. Just misses high on the fastball. Count goes even.
Not bad there for A.J. Frosto, just a hair high of the zone.
Tyler looks to break through for the Barons here in the third inning. They've already tied the game on that RBI double from Sawamura. He'll take outside the counts full once again. An opportunity to take the lead via the walk with one out and the bases loaded. Full count to Jackson Tyler. He's worked 8 walks on the season, but he's also struck out 8 times. What will Frosto go to here on the full count? Fastball inside, called strike 3. Ring him up. Tyler not happy with the call. He thought that was ball 4. Dewey Bratcher at home disagrees. There's a much-needed second out on the mound for Frosto. First strikeout of the day.
First strikeout of the day, like you said, Avi, and a much-needed one with the bases loaded. Now you're just 1 out away from getting out of this mess if you're A.J. Frosto.
But another hitter you have to watch out for in Jason Delviar. Flew out in his first at-bat, but we know the power he has out there in the righty batter's box. But the gray wooden bat takes inside for strike 1. I mentioned Dewey Bratcher behind the plate. He's calling balls into strikes. Salvador Ibarra at first, Heath Jones at third, our umpiring crew tonight. It's Espinoza at third base for the Barons. Sawamura at second after his double. Clayton at first after his walk. Hit out towards short. Into the glove on a roller. Long throw from Nunez. Not in time. Delviar reaches via a single. And he brings in the second run of the game for the Barons, who take a 2-1 lead here in the top of the third.
That was always going to be a tough play for Nunez to make just because of the placement of that ball. Was charging towards his right and had to make the throw on the run. And nicely done by the Barons to take their first lead of the game.
So the Barons flip the score here in the top of the third inning. Came in trailing 1-0, but they've gathered 2 runs. Nick Sanders steps up and works with a lead for the first time tonight. Flew out to Rogowski in center in his first at-bat. Frosto trying to get out of this bases-loaded mess. Gets a swing and a miss there on the first pitch. Sawamura at third, Clayton at second, Delviar at first after his RBI knock. Dangerous Nick Sanders at the plate. .458 average coming into the game, 11 hits. 6'2 senior from Waco, Texas. Checks his swing on a pitch outside. Did not go, so Salvador Ibarra. It's a 1-1 count. Sanders from Waco, of course, decided to stay in state. Went to Texas, played 9 games for the Longhorns as a freshman. Transferred, went to Grayson College to get more playing time, and then went to Campbell, where he was teammates with Elijah Clayton, who's over at second. 1-1 from Frosto. Can't clip the outer edge on the fastball. It's a 2-1 count.
It's another close pitch from A.J. Frosto. Call doesn't go his way, so having to work a little extra today.
2-1 the count. 2 outs in the innings. Sanders at the plate. Frosto trying to get out of this bases-loaded jam. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss and a much-needed one. Counts even at 2. And if you're Frosto, where do you go to here?
Fastball's been his go-to A.J. Frosto all night long. See if he goes to it to record his second strikeout of the ball game.
One pitch away from getting out of this mess he's created here in the top of the third. Payoff from Frosto. High in the air, a pop-up out towards first. Backtracking his Clouser. He calls for it himself, makes the catch, and finally gets the Riptide out of the top of the third. But 2 runs come across for the Barons, including one on the RBI single from Jason Delviar to take the lead. It's 2-1 Barons through 2.5. Very special guest joining us when we come back for the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third inning, Riptide down 2-1. We're seeing Aiden Pham and a very special guest, former Riptide Grady Morgan, now in Banana Ball with the Loco Beach Coconuts. Grady, how are you tonight?
Hey, good guys. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you on. Cannelly on the mound, throws strike one to Trajan Rogowski, top of the order for the Riptide. So, Grady, you made the transition from baseball to banana ball. How's that been?
It's been a whole lot of fun. It has, it's obviously a different speed of the game. Banana ball is very much a fast-paced, upbeat, high-energetic sport, and compared to the baseball, it's a lot quicker of a game for sure. But it's the best. I love it. I have the best job in the world, and I'm really happy to be where I am.
Rogowski pokes a hit out towards right field. Second hit of the game for Rogowski, leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the third. With Jarrett Sable at the plate as the Riptide look to even up the game. So you go from baseball to banana ball. How did you get the opportunity with Loco Beach?
So I was signed with the baseball team in Idaho Falls for the 2025 season. And I was just in the middle of my off season in spring of 2024. Spring 2025. Sorry, like right before I went out to my summer ball to start my season. And I was like, I don't really see myself doing this for much longer. But then I was like, I saw Banana Ball. And I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Like, this is fun. I'll give it a shot. See if I can find a way on a team somehow, some way. I knew it was popular. I thought it was impossible. But honestly, I DM'd them on Instagram. I slid into their DMs and I said, hey man, like, how do I get on a team? Like, what do I got to do? And they just sent me back like an application form to fill out. So I filled out all my information, teams I played on. They wanted some stats, so I gave my stats. And at the end, there was like, send us a video, like an audition video of like why you think you would be good in Banana Land. And so I sent a video of me singing "Love Story" by Taylor Swift, like karaoke style, on a bus. And actually, it was a team bus for the Riptide. When that video was filmed, we were going to a game up in Thousand Oaks, I think, and I was just singing along to some Taylor Swift, got it on video, sent that in 2 years after I had taken the video, and they loved it, and they're like, come do an extended tryout. It's called The Visitors, and so I was there for 6 weeks developing, and they held a draft in November, and I got drafted to the Coconuts. So that's my story.
Yeah, it works out being a Riptide helped out in the end.
Yeah, beach themed team, so it worked out perfectly. Growing up from the beaches, it's honestly it's everything I've ever wanted. Baseball, dancing, and playing in front of sold out crowds. So it's awesome.
Yeah, so you're an Orange County guy, Laguna Beach. What was that experience like to live at home for the summer and play for this Orange County Riptide team in the past?
Yeah, that was one of the more fun summers that I've had playing baseball too, because I got to live it up at the beach in the mornings.
Yeah.
And head out here to play a game of baseball, and it was fun. It was awesome. I love being home. I love living back in Laguna with my parents, even if it's just for a short week. But I love coming home. I do.
Jarrett Sable walked there with nobody out and Rogowski at first. Runners at first and second with no outs here in the bottom of the third. Cooper Klauser due up for the Riptide. He's 1 for 1 in the game with a single. Orange County looks to tie the game with a tying run in scoring position in Trajan Rogowski. Take us through your time with the Riptide. You were here in 2023. What was your favorite part playing with the team? What was it like just meeting all the guys, getting to know them over the summer, and playing baseball with them day in and day out?
So baseball is actually one of those interesting games where it's such a big sport, but it's such a small world. So all the guys on the team I had previous like mutual connections with, whether I had played on a team with them a couple years back, or I had played on the same summer ball team like a year ago with one of their teammates. So it was just cool. Like it's nonstop. Like conversation starts. Oh, you know this hear their stories of where they go to school and their journey to get to where they are, because everybody's journey is different. And it's cool to hear all different walks of their careers that's going on. We all end up in the same spot, like those Riptide says. It's pretty neat, just building those connections for sure.
Yeah, it's cool that you bring that up because when we're down there during BP, I love hearing how guys talk about how they played against each other in high school. And now they're on the same team, and they like to joke around like, hey, I hit a homer off of you when we faced each other. So do you still keep in touch with those guys that you played ball with?
I do a few of them, yeah. So remember Nolan Funky? Probably not, but so Nolan Funky, one of the guys on the team, we had gone back. We had met in 2019, and he was playing in New Mexico State. I was at Chico State. Hung out for like a whole summer. Didn't talk for like a year or so. Just kind of like not didn't talk, but just didn't really stay in touch. Then formed again, formed again on the Riptide, and we just became best friends again. So it's just like kind of rebuilding those relationships again. That's worth a lot more than kind of thing. So yeah, him along with a few others, but it's cool. You just connect with some guys. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Barth smacks the ball out towards left field. High fly ball carrying over the wall. It drops along the wall for a base hit. Rogowski scores to tie the game. Sable waved home by Coleman. Riptide take a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the third on an RBI double from Connor Barth. We have been waiting to call his name in the hit column for a while, and Connor Barth delivers here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, how about a little slump buster? What a way to do it. Connor Barth cashes in. Now, when you played for the Riptide, did you guys play here at the Great Park? Okay, so it's basically a homecoming for you.
It's exactly what it is. I was, so I was here for a week, and I was like, what should I do? What should I do while I'm here? I texted David, and I was like, you guys got any home games this week? He's like, it's actually homecoming game on Saturday. So I was like, oh, well, there's my Saturday plans. I'll watch ball game.
Tatum Marsh at the plate with one out and Barth over at second after his double. So one thing you got to do with the Riptide, of course, is travel around California. You mentioned going up to Thousand Oaks to play Conejo, But one thing you also get to do in Banana Ball is travel. It's a sport that bounces all across America, of course, based in Savannah. They play games in Savannah, but you'll see them at all sorts of stadiums around the country. What's it been like getting to go around the United States and go to all these different stadiums and these different crowds?
Traveling is something I've wanted to do for a while, and it's a piece there. Come on now. But it's cool seeing all different cities, big cities. Seeing on TV, going to places you never would have expected to travel to, and different cities. There's obviously some sleeper cities that you find more fun than others that you wouldn't expect. For example, Manchester, New Hampshire. Never thought I'd make it up there. Great place, great weather, beautiful up there. Milwaukee, also a great place. Highly recommend traveling there if you get a chance to. But just kind of seeing all different cities and playing in these nice stadiums, sold out crowd. It's a good life. I like it.
What's it been like to see the reception that you guys get too? Because Banana Ball is something that's growing, and it's growing at a fast pace.
It's awesome. The kids love it. It's such a cool, fun, happy environment to be in. Seeing how happy we make the fans, means more than anything. So just got keep that in mind when you're signing everybody's autographs. They came to see you, and it's special. It's a special moment. Every game is somebody's first game, right? So you want to make the experience awesome for everybody who gets the opportunity to come see it.
Throw to second, not in time. Stolen base for Tatum Marsh, who had an RBI single to bring in Barth and give the Riptide a 4-2 lead. Tacked onto the lead that Barth put on with his RBI double. Bradley Boudreau at the plate. It's funny you say that because it's kind of the mantra of the Riptide. We've heard it all the time from our GM, Dave Lamb, is you never know when it's a kid's first time at the ballpark, so you don't know what the moment will be, but it's just those small moments that can make it such a special experience for them, and that's the business of baseball.
Absolutely, and I like what he's done with the organization over the last couple of years, making it more
So you didn't get to experience Omaha. You're a little too early for her, but she's out here retrieving the bats. What's it like watching Omaha go to work?
Love it. I love it. It's awesome. Golden Retriever is super cute. The firefighter's got that dog as well. His name's Chief. He's a Dalmatian. It's cool. It's cool to see. I love that dogs. They're awesome. Good part of the game.
Boudreaux swings and misses on the 3-1, counts full. Mention all the cities you've gotten to travel to. What are your top 3 stadiums that you've played in with the Loco Beach Coconuts?
A little biased. I'm going to say Petco Park. For a Padre fan. Padres names, but playing in Petco Park is always a dream of mine. And I got to play there in front of a sold-out crowd for back-to-back nights. That was pretty awesome. And then got to go with the other Major League Stadium, American Family Field in Milwaukee, where the Brewers play. And that was a cool experience. Super loud, but super great environment. Awesome. We got good weather over there. Yeah, like I said, super loud. Those fans are awesome. And then Sleeper City, Jacksonville, Florida. Played there just last weekend, over the 4th of July weekend. And beautiful stadium. One of the nicest playing surfaces I've been on as well. And just once again, great crowd. They love it. It makes the game way more fun. So it's cool to be able to play in front of a sold-out crowd for sure.
Part of Banana Ball is the social media aspect of it as well. And I know you're on social media. Were you experienced in that world before you got the role with the Banana Ball Association?
Not at all. I think I had posted like one time in the last year before I found out I was going to be on like the developmental team, and I just had to practice putting my face in front of the camera, or like talking more on camera, or like acting on camera, right? So you know, let's say I'm a fun guy to be around, so it wasn't like it was impossible, but it's definitely something you got to get used to, right? You got to find like your niche, is what they call it, when doing social media, because you got to find something that works, but you also got to find something that's you. You don't want to be something you're not, but I try to be authentic and just kind of be true to myself and post stuff that I like. So, but definitely takes practice. Definitely takes like a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, I think the social media stuff it's a lot of work, but it's pretty rewarding. I think us broadcasters have been getting into it a lot. You'll see guys make, day in the life videos of taking the fans to come and call a game or give me 5 words to use on a broadcast. So it's challenging. I think the editing is probably the toughest part, but once you get it out, it's very rewarding.
How do you get content ideas? Is it just a doom scroll thing? Hey, I like that.
A lot of content is like finding something that you think is like cool or fun, and then like maybe putting your own twist on it or something. Like I found a good niche of actually karaoke videos. I had a couple of those that went viral, so if the audience likes those videos of me having fun at karaoke, then I'll keep posting them. So I did a good stretch of karaoke videos. I'll do them here and there.
Riptide have gotten inspiration from your videos.
Just a quick update in the ball game. Jimmy Cannelly, the starter, was taken out after 2 1/3 innings of work. He gave up 4 runs, including 3 here in the bottom of the 3rd, to give the Riptide their lead back. It's Hunter Harrington at the plate. Runners at first and second and 1 out. New pitcher is Noah Aguilar. And, of course, we have Grady Morgan of the Loco Beach Coconuts, former Riptide player, with us in the broadcast booth. What was your favorite memory that you have of playing out here at Great Park? Harrington lifts this ball in the air out towards right field. High fly ball hits off the wall. 1 run comes in, and Marsh, being stopped at third is Boudreaux. And the offensive outpour continues for the Riptide here in the bottom of the third. RBI double from Hunter Harrington gives Orange County a 3-run lead.
I think you're good luck. You're up in the booth and 4 runs already. It is the same inning. Yeah, we've been up here for a while.
How far did your Riptide team get?
We made the playoffs. I can't. I think we lost in the
Now batting, the shortstop, number
semifinals.
34,
Slow.
That would make sense. Slow used to be a South team, yeah.
But you said what was my favorite memory?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how it works like that because I'd say my best memories are spending time with the guys on the buses or after the games or like before the games. Like mid-game, I think I hit a walk-off inside the park home run or something like that. I know I had like an inside the park home run. Someone dove for a ball and I had an inside the park home run. I remember that. But it's just hanging out with the guys. Playing 2-ball before the games. They still do that. Oh yeah, we did that every game. But just hanging out with the guys.
So Nunez at the plate takes outside. I know when we go up for the road games, one game they're always playing is the game Mafia.
Oh yeah.
It's become a big thing on the bus rides. Was that what you guys would play as well, or did you have any other games?
Plenty of Mafia games on my bus rides, but don't play as much because we fly, so it's hard to play Mafia on a plane. But when we do bus, we played quite a few times, quite a few games of Mafia. I'd like to consider myself a pretty good Mafia.
In Banana Ball, do you guys have any pregame rituals? Like, I know they play 2-ball here. Is there something you guys got to do as a team before the game?
We have like signing periods, so we have like times where we get to hang out with fans, and they could come onto the field. We're signing autographs for them. But other than that, just kind of same routine, getting ready for a game. You stretch, play catch, and take time to sign some autographs. And that's about it. We have our show starts at 6:30, so it's like a whole water cannon show, starting lineups. We have like a baby shark that comes out. It's a whole
You mentioned signing autographs. Did you have to like work on the autograph at first, or how's it looking?
It's changed a few times. So I sign it. I go by G Moore sometimes. That's like the nickname that I've had for a while. So I just kind of write G Moore on the ball and kind of toss it to him, So it's definitely changed more like an autograph rather than like a signature.
Got it.
So you gotta find something that's quick and easy too.
Yeah.
Something that's recognizable. Right?
Nick Pone at the plate. Riptide one batter away from going around the order here in what's been a lengthy bottom of the third inning.
You should.
Reedy Morgan of the Loco Beach Coconuts, our good luck charm here as the Riptide took their lead back and then some. Noah Aguilar, the new pitcher, 2-0 to Pone. Check swing outside. So let's say you're with the Riptide. You come up in this situation. Bases are loaded, 1 out. What's your approach at the plate?
Ooh, bases loaded, 1 out. Looks like he's getting hit around, so he's probably gonna still try to attack with the fastball. But in this situation, you just want to do a job. Bases loaded, 1 out, so just get something that you can drive, and that will work.
Well, Pone drives one there out to right field. That brings in 1 run. Here comes another. Tag at the plate. Out. It was a great throw from Sanders right on the line. We'll say he was out at the plate. That was Hunter Harrington who was running home.
Well, that's the thing about the CCL. We can't review it. It's call on the field stands, but it's a good feeling for the Barons, though, if you're in their shoes. Finally get that second out and try to get out of this inning. Do you have a favorite game you've played in with the Savannah Bananas? Yeah.
With the
Banana Ball, yeah.
My favorite game? Ooh. See, every game is like, the scoring is a little different. So it's like a point system. So you got to win the inning to get a point. So it kind of makes every game, like, 0-0 in the inning. It's a wash. But, so that means every game's pretty much close going into the ninth inning. So every game is like, literally comes down say the most fun game we've had so far. Ooh. I mean, our first game of the year at Florida State was a barn burner. I mean, I think we won like 4-3, but we like tied it in the ninth. Like we came back and won. It was our first game ever for Loco Beach, and we won in like the ninth inning. So it was like, this is the craziest game I've ever played in my life. That was definitely my thought after that game. So yeah, I'll go with that one. First game of the year.
I know banana ball has some different rules from baseball. Like one that I can immediately think of is if the ball goes into the crowd and someone catches the foul ball, that they're out. Are there any other quirks of banana ball that you'd say are your favorite?
Correct. I like the ball four sprints. I like that's the free base anywhere.
It's a painful one as well.
I know that hurt.
When it hit Trajan Rogowski on the shoulder. This is his first game back from a shoulder injury, so probably not where he wanted that baseball to end up, as Coach Evans is checking on Rogowski to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, you're right, Avi. He missed a couple of games because of that shoulder injury, and that's exactly where that baseball got him.
Was on that left shoulder. That's the one that Rogowski popped, stealing a base in the CCL All-Star game. Grady, did you ever have to deal with any injuries in college?
Fortunately, nothing that kept me out for longer than maybe a couple innings. I was fortunate enough to play just about every inning of my college career. I'd say summer ball is a little different. I definitely sat out some games for the injury there, but no, I've been pretty fortunate to knock on wood. But a couple little tweaks here and there, but it just comes with being an athlete, right?
I'm sure you've been hit by a few pitches in your
sure
career.
have.
What's it like? Because for the average fan, you see a player get hit by a pitch, and of course it looks painful, but you're never out there experiencing 93-mile-per-hour fastball running in on you. As thankfully Rogowski's okay, so he'll head over to first base.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's definitely painful, and it's it's painful everywhere. Some places obviously hurt more than others, but I'd say the most pain I've been in after getting hit by a ball was one that I actually blocked myself, and it was here actually on this field down there. I fell the ball, my shin, and it was swollen for 2 months. It hurt a
Wow.
lot. It hurt a lot. That's probably the most pain I've been in from baseball. But you get hit, it hurts for maybe 10 seconds, and then just kind of walk it off. But I got him in a good spot, so he might have a bruise tomorrow morning.
Rogowski, after being hit, is over at first. Slater Nunez at third, Nate Pone at second, Sable at the plate. In this third inning that is yet to come to a close. Riptide have already batted around. Rogowski was the leadoff hitter today for the Riptide. He's at first, and of course Sable batting second at the plate.
Did you get a chance to talk to any of the players or coaching staff pregame?
I did. I talked to Coach Ramos. He was here. He was on the staff when I was playing. So good to see him. Gave me a big old hug. And then Connor Spencer's here. He was a manager when I was playing. And then Matt Smith, who was an assistant while I was here, is also here tonight. So I got chatted up with them.
Third inning keeps on going for the Riptide. Jarrett Sable powers a fastball out towards right field. A 2 RBI single and another pitching change as Noah Aguilar's day is done. We'll keep it right here with former Riptide and current Loco Beach Coconut Grady Morgan. Grady, I'm sure you've played in a few share of blowout ball games. What's it like for the guys out there when you have an inning like this and suddenly you're up by 6 runs in the blink of an eye?
You know what? I've been on both sides of the ball here. It's awesome when you're on offense. It is not as awesome when you're on defense. So, 2 outs. If I'm the Riptide, I'm trying to score as many runs as possible. Don't let off the gas. And if I'm on defense, I'm backing up my pitcher, trying to do whatever I can to help him out. So could be tough out there for sure.
Pitching change on the mound. We'll take a quick break here with 2 outs. Lefty, a new pitcher for the Barons. We'll get you his name when we come back here with Grady Morgan, former Riptide and current Loco Beach Coconut. We'll continue after this break. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Riptide have put up a 7 spot here against the Barons, 8-2 the score. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Academy. It's Daniel Rivera. We're here in the booth with former Riptide and current Loco Beach Coconut, Grady Morgan. Grady, it's been a long inning, a very fulfilling one for the Riptide offensively.
It has. I love it. It's got a lefty-lefty matchup. Line something up the middle right here. Stay inside something. It's a good hack.
Cooper Klauser at the plate, who fouled that pitch off. So we've talked to you about your time with the Riptide, talked to you about banana ball, but I have not talked to you about your time in college baseball. Where did you play in your college days, and what was it like?
So I started out my career at Chico State. I went there out of high school, and I redshirted there, so I didn't play all my whole freshman year. Came back my sophomore year, and my five at bats into my year, I still wasn't really I was coming off the bench as a redshirt freshman. Had finally started getting some playing time, then COVID happened. So COVID hit, everybody was sent home, season got canceled, and that COVID obviously wasn't a very long period of time where a lot of stuff was still shut down. And in California, they canceled our season again in 2021. So that's when I transferred to the junior college in Chico, Butte College, and that's where I played a shortened 26-game season in 2021. Very last-minute decision. Ended up transferring back to Chico for the 2022 season. That was the only season I had at Chico. After that, I actually transferred to Fresno State, where I played 2 full years. And it was in between my 2 years at Fresno, where I played for the Riptide in 2023. So it's cool being in Fresno and playing back home for a little bit. So yeah, I was at Fresno State for a couple years, and that's where I graduated from.
What was the jump like going from Chico State to suddenly playing in the Mountain West with Fresno State?
Yeah, so I jumped from D2 to D1, and it was a cool transition. It wasn't really anything too crazy. I'd played with a bunch of guys. The competition was, for the most part, similar. Pitching was a little bit better. Hitting was about the same, I'd say, but it wasn't too bad. I fit right in right away at Fresno, so it was the right decision for sure.
And you're in state as well, so I'm sure family got to go to the games.
Yep, family got to go to a lot of games, for sure. Props to them. They're here. Their parents are here tonight. Very supportive. Beat it.
2-2 chopped out towards the pitch. Rivera steps on the bag himself, and the 3rd inning finally comes to a close. But the Riptide pour it on for 7 runs in the inning. 8-2 the score. Former Riptide and current Loco Beach Coconut of Banana Ball, Grady Morgan, joined us in the inning. Grady, thank you so much for joining. You can watch him on ESPN Plus, where all Banana Ball games are streamed. Top of the fourth inning, Riptide put up 7 runs in the bottom of the third. They're up 8-2. This half inning brought to you by Marucci, the official outfitter of the OC Riptide, and by Richardson, the official headgear of the OC Riptide. Grady Morgan is with us once again. He has some closing words for the broadcast.
We'll see if the offense goes quiet this inning. I know I was here last inning and we put up 7 runs, so I'm hoping the Barons don't do that on offense this inning. But no, thanks again for having me up here, guys. I appreciate the opportunity. Always fun doing some calls in the booth. So happy to be here.
Awesome. A lot of fun. I learned a lot as well. Always welcome back here. If the Riptide ever need your help with some baseball.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. I love coming back. It's one of my favorite things to do is just be back here in Laguna. So.
Well, you're on the headset. We'll have you stick around for the rest of the inning, if
Sure,
that's okay with
course.
you. New pitcher for the Riptide, Dayton Thompson. So,
yeah, I threw the first pitch up to this guy. What's his name again?
Dayton Thompson. Excellent pitcher out there for the Riptide.
Yeah. Make a play.
It was up a swing out towards right field into the glove. Sable for the out.
Quick outs.
Quick first out for Dayton Thompson here in the top of the fourth inning. It was Antonio Lujan who flew out. We'll bring up Mark Emmerman. So you're up by 6 runs. It's a big margin, but how do you make sure that you don't stay complacent out there and that you're still competitive in a ball game and which you're up so big in the game?
Yeah, biggest thing for a pitcher right here is just pound the zone. Fill bunch of strikes, as many strikes. Let the offense, or let your defense do their work behind you. Don't try to get too fancy with it, too crazy with it. Just make the routine plays and pound the zone. Unfortunately, stuff like that is going to happen. Part of the game. But see if he can get a ground ball right here.
When you played in the CCL, was there a team that you always liked to face, or was every game a lot of fun?
You know what? It's more of like which fields.
That's fair. That's actually a fair.
It is.
So there are some rough ones in the CCL. But I did like going up and playing Thousand Oaks, the Conejo Oaks, right? That was they got a nice field up there. So that was cool. Good,
They've actually, I believe, changed their field since you played. Did you play up at
Cal Lutheran?
Yes, they switched fields. So they're at Cal Lutheran. They're at Ventura College now.
Are they?
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever played there.
A fan favorite for the players definitely is Slow, though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep, that's right. Played there, I guess. Was it only one game? No, played there 6 games. It was a series.
High fly ball out towards center field. Rogowski camps under it, makes the catch for the second out.
Good piece. Just forgot where he was playing.
Did you ever play up in Pasadena against Arroyo Seco?
Yep.
I know that's a very interesting field according to the players.
It is. It is. It is an interesting field. Short porch though.
Yeah. I'm assuming all the fields you get to play at now are very nice.
Very nice fields. Double and AAA and Major League Baseball stadiums. But there are some hitter-friendly ballparks, and there are some not hitter-friendly ballparks, obviously. So, but it's every field's different. Every field's dimensions are so unique and in their own ways. Try to take advantage of the ones with the short porch and right field. That's what I like.
I know in Banana Ball they've played a few games in collegiate and NFL football stadiums. Have you been a part of those ones?
I have yet to play in a football stadium. My first one will be Gillette Stadium in Foxborough in August. That'll be the first and only football stadium the Coconuts get to play in this year. But yeah, that'll be fun.
It's not bad, though. Home of Tom Brady and
Tom Brady.
the
World
Patriots.
Cup has been there as well.
Yep.
Have you been watching it all?
I have. I watched the game earlier today between Norway and England.
Yeah,
That was
a good
one
game.
to watch.
Do you have a favorite NFL team? I know we just talked about Gillette Stadium.
I'm a Charger fan.
Oh,
Yeah, Chargers. My team.
He's a Seahawks fan. Aiden is. I'm a Cardinals
Are
fan,
ya?
being
Yeah.
from Phoenix.
Seahawks. All right. It's fun rooting for the Seahawks.
So we have a little rivalry.
Yeah, we
here,
like to
although
give each other a
his
hard
team
time.
is unfortunately much better than mine.
Chargers aren't bad.
And Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals. Yeah, you guys got Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Just Herbert. It's got some good pieces coming up. Hopefully, can make another playoff run. Get back to the playoffs and maybe do something this time.
Oh, one from Thompson down low.
All right, get your guy here.
A.G. Salmer is at the plate.
I know you're pretty busy, but have you gotten a chance to catch any football or any sporting events that you're not playing in as of late?
No. There isn't much time for that one. I mean, I probably could have gone to a game this week, but I just like being home. I like just hanging out and chilling, going to the beach. But yeah, hopefully in the off season I'll make it out to like a hockey game or something, or in the fall maybe a football game. But yeah.
It's very fitting. You're a big lover of the beach. You've told us that, and you
Yep.
play for Loco Beach.
I know. It's the stars aligned. There it is. All right, man.
Foul tip, swing and a miss from Salmer. That's how the inning comes to a close.
Deal.
Brady Morgan, thank you once again for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Bottom of the fourth inning. This half inning brought to you by the Fairmont Schools in San Juan Capistrano. Connor Barth leads things off against Daniel Rivera, working with a 6-run lead after a 7 spot the last time the Riptide came up to hit. Avi Singh alongside Aiden Finn. It was such a special treat to have former Riptide Grady Morgan with us in the booth. Talked to us about his experience now in Banana Ball with the Loco Beach Coconuts and his time with the Riptide, among other things.
Yeah, super nice guy. It was a lot of fun to have him up, and it's always cool, especially on a night like homecoming when you can see former Riptide players and interns show up.
As Barth lifts a shot over the head of the shortstop Clayton for a leadoff single. What a day it's been at the plate for Connor Barth. A much-needed one for him. Second hit of the ball game. The Riptide already up by 6 runs.
Orange County has just continued to pour it on against the Barons here towards the middle of the ball game. It's been impressive. The bats have gotten going for the Riptide, especially because they struggled last night.
Tatum Marsh at the plate. Riptide out hitting the Barons 9-5. 9 hits already for the Riptide. Not even finished with the 4th inning. Daniel Rivera, the 3rd pitcher out there tonight for the Barons. Lefty fires. Swinging and a miss from Marsh. There's Jimmy Cannelly, who started the game. Gave up 4 runs, had to come out in that bottom of the 3rd inning. Noah Aguilar came in and only got 1 out. He gave up 2 runs himself. He was taken out. And then Rivera came in for him, and he stays in the game. Marsh lifts this ball high out towards right field, giving chase, and making the catch is Sanders. Barth tags to second, slides, and avoids the tag. So Marsh flies out, but Barth gets into scoring position. Riptide already up big, an opportunity for some more damage on the scoreboard.
A lot closer play than we thought at second base, but excellent catch along the fence by Sanders. That's not easy to do at all. Tracks it down and records out number 1.
This is Bradley Boudreau's spot. Third baseman is being pinch hit for already. So Boudreau is out and Alonzo Reyes is in. We'll see where Reyes plays defensively. He's an everyday first baseman for the Riptide. But he pinch hits for the third baseman, Boudreau, whose day is done after just 3 innings of work. So Coach Brian Evans already making changes, up by 6 runs. Lefty-lefty matchup here, Reyes and Rivera. Rivera turns over, throws to second. Barth slides in safely.
Well, Alonzo Reyes was the hero last night for the Riptide. He delivered that walk-off hit. And yeah, you're right. It will be interesting to see how the infield shifts around here.
Here's the hero, not once but twice. Also tied the game with his hit in the 8th inning on Thursday against Santa Barbara. He'll take the pitch low for a strike. So it's an 0-1 count to the pinch hitter, Alonzo Reyes. 6'1", 195 redshirt senior out of Inglewood. Played in 52 games this past season for UC Irvine. Rivera looks towards second and fires. Swing and a miss at a pitch high. Reyes has played in just 7 games this season for the Riptide. Joined Orange County at the beginning of July. .269 average, 7 hits, 5 RBIs. Working with the 6-run lead in Connor Barth at second. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 0-2. This is high. 1-2 the count. Hunter Harrington on deck for Orange County. Riptide took a 1-0 lead to begin the game. Barons came back and took the lead in the top of the 3rd before the Riptide poured on 7 runs to give them this 6-run cushion. As Reyes ducks away from a pitch inside, it's a 2-2 count.
Well, first at bat of the night for Alonso Reyes. See if we can pick up right where he left off.
Rivera gets his pitch from Ocampo. Here's the 2-2, way outside. And Alonso Reyes went to UC Irvine. Hit .270 with the Anteaters this past season. 50 hits, 34 RBIs, and 4 home runs. His UC Irvine and Riptide teammate Alex Umlin described him as nothing short of a leader over at UCI. 3-2 to the Anteater Reyes. Slashback foul, he stays alive.
Seen a lot of really good at-bats from the Riptide all night long, and this is another one for Reyes.
Riptide have worked the count against these Barons pitchers. Canely, Aguilar, and now Daniel Rivera. Looks towards second, full count payoff on the way. Slashback foul again. Reyes stays alive here on Riptide homecoming night. A great crowd on hand. Plenty of folks in the ballpark to celebrate 10 years of Riptide baseball. 11 years in total, 10 in the CCL. Pitch lifted high in the air, foul.
It's a testament to the Riptide as an organization and as a franchise where you see guys who have come through and have come back, both interns and players. Everyone seems to love being part of the Riptide.
Well, Grady Morgan, one of them, who we just spoke to. How about Ace Reese? Played for the Riptide in 2024, went to Mississippi State. He was just drafted today in the first round, 24th pick of the MLB draft by the Seattle Mariners. Congratulations to Reese, as this pitch is hit out towards second, throw to first in time for the out. It was Jimmy Canely who started the game for the Barons. He went out after 2 1/3 innings of work, having given up 4 runs. Noah Aguilar came into the game and got just 1 out in that 7-run third. He was pulled after giving up 2 runs. It's Daniel Rivera on the mound here, who has 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Runner in scoring position, and Hunter Harrington at the plate.
It was a really tough bottom of the 3rd for the Academy pitching staff as a whole. We saw multiple different pitchers utilize, and see if Rivera can go a little longer here.
Rivera heaves home, fires a strike outside to Harrington. 1 for 2 on the day, had an RBI double as part of that 7-run 3rd inning. Everybody played their part offensively for Orange County. Harrington chops this back foul. It's an 0-2 count. Hunter Harrington playing out of high school. Just graduated in May of Cathedral Catholic in San Diego. He'll play for Stanford next season with his Riptide teammate Tatum Marsh. Rivera looks to get out of the inning here. Can't get the strike call on the upper edge. It's a 1-2 count. Good pitch. No call from Dewey Bratcher.
It was a very close pitch right there, and fortunately for the Riptide and Hunter Harrington, he stays alive.
Looks to bring in Connor Barth, who's over at 3rd. 1-2. Outside. Even count here to Hunter Harrington. Hit .281 in his senior year of high school with Cathedral Catholic. Played there with Trey Kotze, son of athletics manager Mark Kotze. 2 of them very good friends, Trey and Hunter, as he takes strike 3 outside. That's how the inning comes to a close. Connor Barth reached on a leadoff single here in the 4th, but was stranded after 3 straight outs from Daniel Rivera. We're through 4 innings, 8-2. The Riptide lead here on homecoming night, celebrating 11 years of Riptide baseball, 10 years in the CCL. Top of the 5th, this half inning brought to you by Rome Beer Company, the official brewery of the OC Riptide. I'll be sing alongside Aiden Pham. It's an 8-2 ball game with Dayton Thompson out for his second inning of work. He'll fire low to start his inning against Elijah Clayton. Clayton, Tyler, Delviar due up for the Barons. Down by 6 runs here in the top of the 5th. 1-0 darts inside and misses. Dayton Thompson out for his 7th inning of work. 7th game of work. Came into the game with a 1.04 ERA and 8.2 innings. Here's his 2-0. Fastball for a strike. Clayton at the plate, 0 for 1 with a fly out. Walked in his last plate appearance. Two 1 from Thompson. Clips the outer edge.
Oh, it's a 6-run deficit for the Barons, but we know and we've seen all summer long how talented this lineup is, and they're more than capable of slowly chipping away at this lead.
One of the best hitting teams in the CCL, not just in July, but all season. You can see why there. The eye from Elijah Clayton as he takes low and inside and works the count full. Thompson on the mound was a two-way player over at Mount San Jacinto. Committed to Cal State San Bernardino next season. Full count payoff. Swing and a miss. Dayton Thompson works his second strikeout on the mound. Back-to-back Ks out there for him. This one for the first out here in the top of the 5th.
Nicely done there, Dayton Thompson, to record out number 1 against a really good hitter in Clayton. Right now for the Barons, they're just looking for guys to get on. See if Jackson Tyler can do that.
There is Jackson Tyler. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance as he takes inside. All the lights have come off at Great Park, save for the ones around the stadium and inside the ballpark. Great atmosphere, makes you focus on the game with the way the lighting is. As Thompson misses inside, it's a 2-0 count. I think one of the underrated aspects of attending a sports game is the lighting in each stadium because it's different for every field and every arena. 2-0 misses outside, 3-0 count.
It certainly does, and you're right. The lighting at each stadium is part of the experience, and here at the Great Park, the lighting is definitely very cool. Sets for a cool environment for some Riptide baseball.
Thompson behind 3-0 as he fires to Tyler. Outside and low for ball 4. First walk allowed on the mound this outing for Dayton Thompson. Here in the second inning of work as Tyler heads over to first.
That's good work by Tyler to get on with the walk. See if it can spark something here for the Barons. Down by 6 runs here in the 5th.
Easier said than done, but with the way the Riptide have come back in their last 2 games, we know anything is possible. Especially with as good of a hitting team as the Barons are. Jason Del Villar, a catalyst for that Barons offense up to bat. We'll take a strike outside. One for 2 on the day. Had an RBI single in the 3rd inning that gave the Barons what was then a 2-1 lead. Riptide would storm back for 7 runs in the bottom of that 3rd inning to regain their lead and then some. As Thompson misses high. It's a 1-1 count. So Thompson was a two-way player at Mount San Jacinto. I asked him today if we would see him play in the infield at all over the last 2 weeks of the season, but he said he's going to stick with what he's been doing all summer, which is only go out there on the mound. Here's his 1-1. Hard hit out past the glove of the third baseman for a base hit. It is Reyes who's at third. He pinch hit for Boudreaux. He'll play over at third. Couldn't get to the ball that time. And the Barons have trouble brewing on the base paths. Runners at first and second, and 1 out for Nick Sanders.
It's a well-hit baseball. Jason Dovier once again comes through for the Barons when they need him to. Second hit of the ball game. And a good spot as you got Nick Sanders, who's a dangerous bat coming up.
And when you're up by 6 runs, you can't take anything for granted, especially for as good of an offense as the Barons have. Jackson Tyler at second with his walk. Del Villar at first after his second hit of the game. Nick Sanders at the plate, 0 for 2. Looking to change that here and cut into the 6-run deficit. Which was the first pitch he sees behind him.
Well, Nick Sanders certainly feels like he's due, hitting .458 on a 6-game hit streak, but he's really been silenced tonight by the Riptide pitching staff.
Sanders from Waco, Texas. Dayton Thompson looks towards second and fires. Swing and a miss from Sanders. He's behind 0-2. Sanders is from Texas. Dayton Thompson loves watching television. Some of his favorite shows are Taylor Sheridan shows, including Landman, which, of course, takes place in Texas. Might go in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Landman takes place near Lubbock, where Texas Tech is. 0-2. This is outside for ball 1. Aiden Pham next to me is shaking his head at Texas Tech. He used to go to Baylor before he joined me at USC.
I disagree with the statement that Waco is in the DFW area. I think Waco is central Texas.
It's about an hour away. It's not that far. 1-2. This is outside for ball 2. Well, Texas is home to many things, but one of them, a trend that's taken over the nation, is Buc-ee's gas stations. Have you been to a Buc-ee's?
I love Buc-ee's. Have you been to a Buc-ee's?
I have. I went to the biggest Buc-ee's out there. It's in the San Antonio area, and they just opened a Buc-ee's near my hometown of Phoenix and Goodyear. As this pitch is lifted out towards left field, a long chase for the left fielder in Harrington, who can't get to the ball. It drops for a base hit, And trouble for Dayton Thompson as the bases are loaded here in the top of the 5th inning.
It was a high ball in the lights that Harrington and the shortstop Nunez had to try to track down. It drops in between them. And there's something rallying here for the Barons in the 5th.
Well, the Barons say less Buckies, more baseball as they get a hit to load the bases. Antonio Lujan is up, and he can change this game with one swing. Before that, however, Nate Pone and Brian Evans will come out to talk to Dayton Thompson as we have a mound visit brewing. There is some action in the Riptide bullpen. Looks like a righty getting loose out there.
Yeah, it's been a tough inning of work for Dayton Thompson here. The Barons are definitely threatening. Good move for Brian Evans to go out there and check on his pitcher, calm him down. Do you have a favorite Buc-ee's order?
I don't know if I have a favorite order. I do like the brisket, though. I think just a brisket sandwich will do.
Pulled pork's not bad there.
Dayton Thompson stays in the game. Brian Evans steps back to the Riptide dugout. So Thompson works with this bases loaded jam he's created here in the top of the 5th inning. Tyler at third, aboard via a walk. Del Villar at second, Sanders at first on a pair of singles. Antonio Lujan at the plate looks to cut in to this 6-run deficit the Barons are facing. Thompson puts glove to face and fires. Slashback foul near the Riptide dugout. Lujan 0 for 2 in the game. Popped out in his first at-bat, flew out in his other one. Looks to make amends here at the plate and give the Barons a fighting chance in the rest of the ballgame.
Oh, Antonio Lujan had a grand slam against the Blues a couple days ago, and similar opportunity for him here.
0-1 to Lujan. Swing and a miss. He wanted a grand slam there. Couldn't connect with the baseball. It's a 0-2 count.
Definitely going to be an aggressive hitter in Antonio Lujan, but down in the count 0-2. You got to be smart here.
The one thing he can't afford to risk here is hitting on a pitch low and grounding out into a double play with one out on the board. 0-2 from Thompson. Slashback foul. Looked like Lujan almost bounced the baseball off of himself. Just avoided his leg. And stays alive nonetheless. Mark Emmerman, who's 1 for 2 in the game, on deck. Thompson looks to get out of this 5th inning clean. Up by 6 runs here, but in all these comeback games the past few days, we know no lead is safe in the CCL as Thompson fires way outside.
Yeah, just slipped out of the hand there for Dayton Thompson. You're right, Avi. Riptide have mounted some really cool comebacks this year. Right now they're trying to stop one.
One, 2 to Lujan. High fly ball, foul into the concession stand. So Lujan steps out, takes a trip around the world, and heads back to the lefty batter's box after recentering himself. Looks to at least bring in Tyler at third. He'll take any runs you can get down by 6. 1-2 again. Taken low for ball 2. Lujan squatted down, held himself from swinging, steps out, breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah, that's a good take there by Antonio Lujan. Big spot here for Dayton Thompson. See if he can come through.
Lujan had to jump around outside the batter's box and get the nerves out. 2-2 the count, 1 out, bases loaded. Barons look to cut into the 6-run Riptide lead. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. Lujan works the count full. 1 pitch away from walking in a run.
Really good at bat by Antonio Lujan here. He was down 0-2, and he's got it full.
We'll see what Dayton Thompson can do here. Full count, bases loaded, 1 out situation. Here's the full count payoff. Slash back foul again. This time it did catch a piece of Lujan.
Definitely one of the longer battles we've seen tonight between Lujan and Thompson.
We've seen plenty of battles at the plate on both sides. Neither offense giving up against the pitcher. Full count payoff once more. Outside ball 4. Lujan works a 1-out walk with the bases loaded. It's an RBI walk that brings in Jackson Tyler. And it's down to a 5-run ball game. 8-3 the score as Dayton Thompson's day is done. It was a great at-bat by Lujan. Did everything he could out there and earned the walk. So we have a new Riptide pitcher in the game. Liam Thatcher takes the mound when we come back. It's an 8-3 ball game, but the Barons are knocking on the door with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th inning at Great Park. Avi Singh alongside Aiden Pham on a Riptide homecoming night. Dayton Thompson exits the game after giving up an RBI walk with the bases loaded to Antonio Lujan. Bases stay loaded with 1 out for the new pitcher Liam Thatcher. Righty works with the righty Mark Emmerman at the plate. First pitch. Outside for strike 1. Thatcher a 0 ERA and 6.2 innings of work in 5 outings this season. Pitched on Tuesday against Slow. It was an inning of hitless and scoreless baseball. 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. Well, I was talking to Aiden Pham in between innings. I'd like to formally apologize for mistakenly saying that Waco is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's an hour and 17 minutes away, but according to Aiden, who went to school in Waco, it is not in the DFW area technically. As Thatcher gets a swing and a miss from Emmerman on the 1-1.
Yeah, that's right. So Waco's in Central Texas. But, I mean, you're right. It is close. And that's the good thing about Waco, right? It's an hour away from DFW and an hour away from Austin.
Well, I guess I'd get as upset if someone said Flagstaff was in the Phoenix area. It's about an hour and a half north. 1-2. Dribbled out towards third, into the glove of Reyes. Throw to second for one, throw to first. In time, inning comes to a close. Liam Thatcher comes in the game, and the Riptide defense goes around the horn. Barons only get one run with the bases loaded in the top of the fifth. It's an 8-3 ball game. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. Bottom of the fifth inning, brought to you by Sign Design. I'll be singing alongside Aiden Pham. It's an 8-3 Riptide ball game. Orange County surrendered a run in the top of the inning, but Liam Thatcher came in out of the bullpen and got an around-the-horn double play to put an end to the inning. Daniel Rivera, the lefty, stays out for the Barons and fires the first pitch outside. 8-9-1 for the Riptide. Slater Nunez, Nate Pone, Trajan Rogowski. All three righties against the lefty Rivera. No throw pitch in the dirt. Washington Huskies, Slater Nunez at the plate. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Came around and scored in that 7-run third inning. 2-0. Hard hit out towards short. A bouncer into the glove of Clayton. Tossed to first for the out.
Well, a routine ground out there for Clayton, and he does so successfully. Orange County add as many runs as you can here. We saw in the last inning where the Barons threatened. That's how quick this game could change if Orange County doesn't pile it on, and it could eventually come back and bite them in the end.
So with 1 out and nobody on, here in the bottom of the fifth, up steps the Riptide catcher, Nate Pone. 1 for 2 in the game with an RBI knock in that 7-run third. Pitch high down the middle for ball 1.
Nate Pone has had himself a really good game tonight, Avi.
Got his first stolen base of the year in that bottom of the third inning. As he takes outside, it's a 2-0 count. Pone, a speedy guy. When you first see him out there, you wouldn't think that the speed would be there. 5'8", 190, and he plays catcher. Not known for being the speediest position, but Nate Pone can hustle along those base paths. Lifts the 2-0 in the air foul.
Yeah, not the biggest guy out there, but super athletic. You talked about the speed and impressive baseball player. We saw him show off the arm. He's already thrown out 2 guys tonight.
We'll take the 2-1 outside for strike 2. Rivera just able to clip the edge. 2-2. Dribbled out on the mound into the glove of a leaping Rivera. Great play defensively from the pitcher for the out. Looked like it would get over his head for a second, but he jumped high in the sky and made a Superman catch.
That's a really athletic play by the pitcher, Rivera. You mentioned a high ball. He makes the catch and delivers an on-time throw to retire Pone.
2 quick outs in the inning for Rivera. Riptide lineup turns over. Here's Trajan Rogowski. He's had himself a day at the plate. 2 singles, and then he reached on a hit by pitch. Takes inside for strike 1.
It's a big piece that the Riptide are now getting back in Trajan Rogowski. We've talked at length about how he missed some time, but he's had a monster day, and the Riptide outfield needs some depth.
Skies the ball out towards right field. A hard liner bounces foul. Would have been a hit for Rogowski. Barons catch a break as it goes the other way, and they'll have to head back to the box with an 0-2 count.
Just to finish on that thought, Trajan Rogowski, always reliable in the outfield. We've seen him make some outstanding plays all summer long, and he's produced with the bat here tonight.
When he was hit by the pitch, it was a scary sight. Hit him in the shoulder that he injured in the All-Star game. Thankfully, he was okay. Stayed in the ball game, and here he is at the plate. Working with 2 outs and nobody on. 0-2 from Rivera. Outside for strike 3. Rogowski goes down for the first time today. It's via the backwards K, and that's how it ends through 5 innings. 8-5, the Riptide lead. Aiden Pham takes us the rest of the way when we come back.
Top of the 6th inning. This half inning is brought to you by the Russell Legal Group. And Pham alongside Avi Singh with you. The Riptide in front 8-3 against the MLB Academy Barons. Orange County looks to protect its lead against a Barons lineup that has been red hot all summer long. Isaac Ocampo, Israel Espinoza, and AJ Sawamura, 8-9-1, due up in this inning for the Barons. Here's the righty Ocampo against the right-handed pitcher in Liam Thatcher, back out there for another inning of work. First pitch is swung on and missed, 0-1 the count. Ocampo tonight reached in the 3rd via an error. He came all the way around a score, and then he also flew out to center field. Thatcher kicks and deals. Darts in for strike 2, and ahead in the count goes Liam Thatcher. 0-2 the count.
We mentioned it, Aiden. Even with the 5-run lead, you can't get complacent against this Barons offense. One of the best in the CCL.
Here's the 0-2. Misses low, 1-2 count. Well, yeah, we saw the Barons threaten in the last inning. Bases loaded. They were able to score 1 run. That makes it an 8-3 ball game in the top of the 6th. But a couple missed opportunities and a huge play for the Riptide on defense, the double play that went 5-4-3 to get out of the inning. 1-2. Called strike 3. Nice strikeout from Liam Thatcher. That's 1 away here in the 6th.
Well, Thatcher wanted the strikeout on the previous pitch. Was hopping up and down on the mound. Couldn't get it because it just drifted below the knees of Ocampo. But he's able to pick it up there.
Brings up Israel Espinoza. 2 for 2 day, both of them singles for Espinoza, the second baseman. 1 away, here's the pitch from Thatcher. Low and inside for ball number 1. It's 3 runs on 7 hits for the Barons tonight. Riptide have 8 runs on 9 hits. Orange County has committed 1 error so far. The 1-0 to the righty is taken upstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Espinoza out of East LA College. Had a good year there. He hit .312 with 23 runs driven in. He's hitting .250 coming into tonight with the academy. 2-0. Low and away. It's 3 straight balls from Liam Thatcher and a 3-0 count. Espinoza a chance to reach for the 3rd time tonight. Here's the pitch. Catches the zone for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike, 1 out, top of the 6th. 5-run lead for the Riptide. Orange County is 1 for 3, 1 and 3 when facing the Barons this year. 3-1 from Thatcher. Clip the zone. It's a 3-2 count. You saw Espinoza there. He thought that was ball 4. Dewey Bratcher disagrees, and the count is full.
He was about halfway to first base before he turned around.
Thatcher, the payoff pitch, is called strike 3. Huge strikeout for Liam Thatcher. It was a 3-0 count, and Thatcher comes back with 3 strikes.
Thatcher's been great out of the bullpen so far. Turned the inning-ending double play in the last inning. Comes out here in the 6th and gets back-to-back Ks, both looking.
Here's the lefty, A.J. Sawamura. He takes the first offering low and away. A 1-0 count against Sawamura, who's been on twice. He was walked in the 1st and had an RBI double in the 3rd. His other at-bat, he struck out swinging. That was in the 4th. 2 away, the 1-0. Popped up, and it curls foul on the left side. 1-1. Well, A.J. Sawamura has had a good season when facing the Riptide. That hit he recorded in the 3rd was his 5th hit this summer against the Riptide. .282 batting average for him. The 1-1 is swung on and popped up foul on the left side once again. The count is 1-2. One of those guys that's currently in the transfer portal after 1 season at Eastern New Mexico. Liam Thatcher a chance for out number 3. Here's the 1-2. Grounded hard on the ground. Past the glove of Clouser. It ricocheted off of it. Barth picked it up. And the throw to Liam Thatcher, who was off the bag, is not in time. Good effort by Connor Barth, but A.J. Sawamura is safe on first.
It was an awkward play out there. Looked like it took a hop off of Clouser's glove and then bounced in the air out towards Barth that second. See if they rule it a hit or an error because it made contact with the glove. It's a single, so it's an awkward one at that, but Sawamura gets his second hit of the game.
And it keeps the inning going for the Barons with Elijah Clayton, the righty, coming up. Huge swing and a miss through the first pitch from Thatcher for strike one. Elijah Clayton tonight is 0 for 2, a flyout and a strikeout. He's reached once. That was via a walk back in the third. 0-1. Missed high, and it's a 1-1 count. 270 batting average for Clayton here. He has 1 homer. Runner on first for him is Sawamura, who just reached via the single. That's the 8th hit of the ball game for the Academy. 1-1. Another hack and a miss. 1-2.
Both of these guys are speed demons. Sawamura at first, 16 stolen bases. Clayton at the plate with 20. Already have one of them aboard. You would not want for the other to get on with 2 outs in the inning.
Clayton 1 for 12 now against the Riptide, but looking for a big hit with the Barons down by 5 runs in the top of the 6th. 1-2. There goes Sawamura. Pitches called strike 3. And Liam Thatcher, 3 Ks here in the top of the 6th inning. What a performance for him. It's 8-3 the score. The Riptide in front as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning, Riptide 8, Barons 3. Aiden Pham alongside Avi Singh with you. Matthew Kraus, the right-handed pitcher, is in the ballgame for the Barons, making his 7th appearance of the summer. A 6.30 ERA through 10 innings pitched this year for Kraus, and the first batter he faces, Jarrett Sabo, the lefty. Good breaking ball dropped in. 0-1 count against Sable, who tonight is 1 for 2, had a single in the third. It was a 2 RBI shot, and he also was walked in the third. And he flares a baseball in a right field. Sanders right under it for out number 1.
Hard liner out towards right. Just couldn't drop it in front of Sanders. So Sable's out for the second time today.
Up comes Cooper Klauser. He extended his hit streak to 6 games with that single in the first. It was an RBI single that drove in the first run of the ball game for the Riptide. Orange County found 7 runs in the third, and that's how they're ahead 8-3. Pitch from Kraus paints the edge of the zone. It's an 0-1 count against Klauser, who spent this past season at Arizona State, and now he's going to Michigan next year. 0-1. Chopped foul on the third base side. 0-2 against Cooper Klauser. Matthew Kraus, 6 walks to 15 Ks this year.
It's going to be quite the adjustment from Klauser going to the 110-degree days we get in Phoenix to the cold weather in Michigan.
0-2 from Kraus. Is planted foul. It rolls towards the Barons dugout on the right side. How are you adjusting? I know you're a Arizona guy. Are you adjusting to the California weather, or is it the same?
Well, I'm used to the heat, but I do get a little chilly in the evenings, and it's not even that cold. It's 61 or 62 outside, and it's enough to get me a sweatshirt.
So you don't like the cold either?
Not particularly.
Here's the 0-2 against Klauser. Pitch inside for ball 1. Cooper Klauser almost twisted out of the way. A ball and 2 strikes against the first baseman today for the Riptide. One, 2. Missed low, evens the count at 2-2. Matthew Kraus, the pitcher out of El Camino College. He pitched against the Riptide back on June 16th, went an inning and gave up 4 runs. 2-2. Lined right towards the third base coach, Eric Coleman. And we'll redo 2-2.
They didn't even move away from the ball out there. Went near the head of Eric Coleman, did not flinch at third.
Unfazed was the Riptide third base coach. 1 out, 2-2 count. Kraus the pitch. It's called strike 3. Dewey Bratcher, the home plate umpire, took his time on that called third strike sign. Cooper Klauser didn't know if it was a ball or a strike either.
We saw it in the last inning. He's very nonchalant out there behind home plate with his strike calls. He'll take a few seconds before throwing out the strikeout sign.
Nice job from Matthew Kraus to record the first 2 outs of the 6th inning. And up comes Connor Barth, who's had himself a day. Fastball inside against him, a ball and no strikes against the second baseman. 2 hits today, a double and a single. He had a big 2 RBI double in the third. He's also come around to score once tonight. The Riptide in front 8-3, bottom of 6. Fly ball to left field. Tyler dives and makes the catch. And it's out number 3 of this 6th inning. Kraus sends them down 1-2-3. And we're headed towards the 7th. Riptide in front 8-3. Riptide lead at 8-3. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Jackson Tyler, Jason Del Villar, and Nick Sanders. 3, 4, and 5 to up for the Barons. Liam Thatcher out there for another inning of work. And his first pitch. Inside, and it caught a piece of the batter, Jackson Tyler, who's already been hit by a pitch tonight.
Well, he doesn't look too happy out there, understandably. That scored right in the chest. It's got to hurt when you take one to the sternum. It appears to be okay, so he'll go over to first. Third time today that Tyler's reached via a free pass, and like you said, 2 of those by a hit by pitch.
Yeah, painful way to get on, but the leadoff man is on for the Barons, and they'll take that. Here's Del Villar. Two for 3 day for Jason Del Villar. 2 singles. Top of the 7th. Barons trying to chip away at that 5-run lead for the Riptide. Thatcher deals strike 1 down the middle. Jackson Tyler on first after the hit by pitch has 6 steals this summer. He was already caught stealing once in this ball game, so see if he elects to take off once again. Nate Pone has been stellar behind the plate. A 1 lifted foul on the right side, and it drops out of the ballpark. 0-2.
Well, it's interesting when you look at the stats. Riptide out hitting the Barons just 9-8. Both teams with 4 walks in the game, but the key is that all those Riptide hits strung together in one inning. There's that 7-run third that gives Orange County its 5-run lead.
Liam Thatcher struck out 3 in the 6th, all looking. 0-2. Ground ball, right side. It's in a right field for a base hit. From first to third goes Tyler, and the runners are on the corners after the single from Jason Del Villar.
Del Villar just can't be stopped at the plate tonight. 3 singles for him. Thatcher out there for a 3rd inning, a guy that doesn't work too deep. I wonder how long he'll stay out there for Brian Evans.
No outs, 2 runners on. Del Villar on first, and Tyler is on third. Zach Dendecker begins to warm up for the Riptide in the bullpen. Nick Sanders, the batter here, 1 for 3 today, had a single in the 5th. He's also the beer batter, and he swings at the first pitch and plants it foul. Count is 0-1. Well, Nick Sanders goes to Campbell. He spent some time at Texas prior. At Texas, he actually joined the Texas football team as a running back, so a multi-sport guy. The definition of an athlete if you can play 2 sports collegiately. He takes the 0-1 way inside, a ball and a strike.
And he's from Waco, which is not in the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area.
There you go. Went to University High School in Waco. Was an all-state catcher there. But he gets the start in right field today for the Barons. Runners on the corners with no outs for him. Pitch from Thatcher. Lace foul on the left side. 1-2.
I wonder if he grew up a Baylor fan, because it must be an adjustment if you spend your whole life rooting for the Baylor Bears and then you go and play for one of your rivals in Texas.
He took the road trip down I-35 and became a Longhorn. One, 2 from Thatcher. Chopper up the middle. Glove by Nunez. Goes to second for 1. The turn of first, not in time. Nick Sanders drives in Jackson Tyler. Del Villar is out at second. It's an 8-4 ball game with 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
I just think Slater Nunez got greedy there. I feel like if he made the flip, they could have had a better chance for the double play, but he decided to run on to second himself. It was a hesitant decision. Couldn't get the throw to first in time, so there's a runner aboard with an out.
Switch hitter Antonio Lujan hits left against the righty Thatcher. Huge swing and a miss for strike one. Antonio Lujan has been searching for that big hit all night long. He's been on once. That was a walk in the fifth.
There was a great battle at the plate to earn that walk. He was down 0-2 in the count, worked it full, and got the RBI walk with the bases loaded.
0-1 to him. Another swing and a miss. Now he's down in the count 0-2. Lujan out of Azusa Pacific, but recently committed to Cal State Dominguez Hills. Second summer with the Academy Barons for Lujan. Sanders on first, 0-2 count, 1 out, pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 swings and Antonio Lujan doesn't make contact. That's out number 2 of the 7th.
William Thatcher's been on fire on the mound. 4 strikeouts now in the game.
It's been a good week for a lot of different Riptide pitchers. The bullpen has certainly done its job. They've played their role in some big wins for Orange County, that's for sure. Mark Emmerman, high pop-up third base side. Alonzo Reyes tracks it down. That's out number 3. It's 1 run on 1 hit and 1 left on for the Barons here in the top of the 7th. Orange County 8, Academy 4 as we head to the bottom of 7. Riptide lead 8-4 in the bottom of the 7th against the Academy Barons. Tatum Marsh, the righty, leads off this inning for Orange County against the righty Matthew Kraus, who's out there for his 2nd inning of work. Kraus did a nice job in his first inning of work. Back in the 6th, sent the Riptide down in order. And his first pitch to Tatum Marsh missed low and outside for ball 1.
Well, as you know, I was doing some singing in between innings, taking me out to the ball game. And speaking of singing, it was Riptide pitcher Brandon Weiland who performed the national anthem tonight.
1-0 missed inside. 2 balls, no strikes. And I will say, there's a chance that Brandon Weiland pitches in this ball game, so we might see a pitcher sing the natty, and go in and pitch right afterwards. As the 2-0 here against Tatum Marsh. Misses high for ball 3. And it was a really good national anthem. Definitely impressed by the talented Brandon Weiland. 4-pitch walk to Tatum Marsh, and he's aboard first. Second walk of the game to Marsh. He's been on now 3 times.
Now batting from Inglewood, California, number 25, Alonzo.
Here's the lefty, Alonzo Reyes. He came in place of Bradley Boudreau in the 4th, and this is his second at-bat of the ball game. Grounded out to second when he was last up. Kraus, hard hit ground ball, ricochets off the glove of Clayton at short. Tatum Marsh moves to second, and Reyes aboard first safely. That's a hot shot right there.
It was all about the exit velocity off the bat from Alonzo Reyes. It would have been a double play if it was a softer shot out towards short, but it scorched off the glove of Clayton. And Reyes is aboard on the hit.
It's the 10th hit of the ball game for Orange County tonight. Alonzo Reyes delivers, and now he's on a 5-game hit streak. And this is the righty, Hunter Harrington, with 2 runners on and nobody out. Kraus, swing and a miss from Hunter Harrington, 0-1. It was a solid first inning of work for Matthew Kraus in the 6th. Right now he's working with some traffic on the base paths. 1 for 3 night for Hunter Harrington, had a double. Half swing, and he went around for strike 2.
Riptide up here by 4 runs. Some news of note for Orange County. Santa Barbara demolished San Luis Obispo 10-2 at Sinsheimer Stadium, but Conejo lost at home to Arroyo Seco 5-4. That'll help the Riptide out in the standings.
Hunter Harrington swings and misses. He strikes out. Tatum Marsh got a jump, and he's on first, rather third. And Alonzo Reyes stays put at first base. There's one out here as Slater Nunez comes up.
2 other games in the CCL today besides those 2. Menlo Park beat San Francisco 9-5. Sonoma took down the Philippines 7-2.
Nunez looks for his first hit tonight. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounded to second base. Shortstop Clayton flips to second, and they turn to first to get the double play. Inning-ending double play for the Academy Barons. We're headed towards the 8th inning. The Riptide in front 8-4. 8th inning here at the Great Park. Aiden Pham alongside Avi Singh with you. The Riptide lead it 8-4. Orange County looks to win its 3rd straight. Zach Dendecker is in the ball game for Orange County, the right-handed pitcher who's currently in the transfer portal after spending a season at LMU. He starts his night off against Isaac Ocampo, the righty. Big thing here for Dendecker, Avi, is to limit the walks.
Now, walks have been an issue for Dendecker this season. 13 walks to 4 Ks. It's a turn of events from his time at LMU when he had 41 strikeouts to just 23 walks.
Good start for him. He induces a swing and a miss from Ocampo, and the count is 0-1. So it's the 7th appearance for the tall righty. And his 0-1 is bounced foul on the left side. Dendecker, just like that, he's ahead in the count, looking for his 5th strikeout this summer. He last pitched against the Philippines last Sunday when an inning gave up a hit, 3 runs, none of them earned, and walked a batter. 0-2, missed the zone. Count is 1-2.
We just chuckled in the booth because we could hear superfan Keith call Zach Dendecker double-decker, and it's a little fitting, right? He's 6'8" out there on the mound. That is a tall presence as a pitcher.
1-2 from him in the dirt. 2-2 count. Ocampo today reached via an error in the 3rd, and he's flew out to center, and he struck out looking. You're right, though. He is a tall pitcher out there on the mound. Here's his 2-2. Low and away once again. The count is full.
I mean, I'm 6'2", and I was talking to Dendecker just the other day. I felt so short standing next to him. Tall guy out there, kind of reminds you of Randy Johnson.
His 3-2 lifted up the middle, out of the reach of Nunez, the shortstop who dove and might be a little banged up. Isaac Ocampo is safe on first base, but the attention going to be on the shortstop, Slater Nunez, who laid out for that baseball. Let's take a break as Nunez is attended to. Welcome back to the Great Park, top of the 8th inning. The Riptide lead 8-4 against the Academy Barons. Isaac Ocampo, before that break, reached first via a hit. Slater Nunez, the shortstop, laid out to make the play, and he left the game with an injury. So the Riptide make some changes. Brandon Weiland is in the ball game. He goes to second base. Connor Barth moves over from second to play short. And that's where we are here in the top of the 8th inning. Well, we were anticipating Brandon Weiland potentially pitching in this game, but the Riptide are going to have him at second base now. Espinoza squared up, pulled it back, pitch missed the zone for a 1-0 count.
We were wondering who was coming into the game. Thought it could be Travis Curry. I said half jokingly, what if they put Brandon Weiland at shortstop, because he's pitched in every game he's played in for the Riptide, but he always takes batting practice. He's always fielding ground balls at short. And Brandon Weiland was the one that came out of the dugout right after that. So they actually do it. Brandon Weiland finally playing in the infield for the first time all season. He's at second, Barth's at short, but it was great to see that Slater Nunez was okay. He was up and walking on his own, and we'll hope that Slater's okay.
It's a 2-0 count against Espinoza, pitch from Dendecker in the zone for strike one. Well, we already knew depth was low for the Riptide today. No Travis Curry. Didn't really see Dennis Fitzpatrick there pregame either. So Orange County elects to put Brandon Weiland out at second base as the pitch got by Pone, the catcher. It rolls towards the on-deck circle, and Isaac Ocampo takes the 90 feet trot to second.
Looked like it just clipped off of Pone's glove when he tried to catch it. And the way it gets a runner in scoring position from the Barons, who aren't out of this ball game here in the 8th inning. Just a 4-run differential. Slowly worked their way back after that 7-run 3rd inning.
3 balls, 1 strike, the pitch. High bounce to third. Fortunately for the Riptide, it's a foul ball. That would have been disastrous as Alonzo Reyes was unable to get to it.
We were very vocal down there, the umpiring crew, that it was a foul ball. You could hear them yelling, foul ball, and for good reason. It's a play that could have gotten away from Reyes. All the players were ready to gear up, thought it was fair for a second, but looked like it hopped off the chalk, and it is foul.
So Espinoza picks up the bat, takes a breath, and he's right back in the right-handed batter's box to face Dendecker with a 3-2 count and no outs. 3-2. He stays alive, caught a piece of the baseball, fouled it off on the right side, and redo 3-2. Runner on second is Ocampo. Look there for Dendecker. Pitch home is swung on and missed. A big strikeout for Zach Dendecker. And there's one away here in the 8th.
Yeah, big strikeout, much needed one for Dendecker. Gives you an out to work with the runner in scoring position, and instills some confidence out there on the mound. So we'll see what he goes to here against a lefty hitter.
That's A.J. Sawamura. Runner in scoring position is Ocampo. Sawamura has 2 hits in this game. He's also been on via the walk. And he takes a ball outside, 1-0 count against the center fielder. Sawamura started out at Odessa College. He spent 2 seasons there. He went to Eastern New Mexico, where he was just this past season, and now he's looking for his next school. He takes ball 2. The count is 2-0.
We've shared this story before, but he shares his name with the Cy Young of Japan, Eiji Sawamura. Of course, has the award named after him in the NPB.
2-0. Missed outside. It's 3 straight balls from Zach Dendecker. Riptide lead 8-4. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Barons trying to mount a comeback as we've reached the 3-hour mark here in Irvine. Outside ball 4 on the 3-0. And A.J. Sawamura is aboard first via the walk.
We talked about the command issues for Zach Dendecker. He gives up a walk to Sawamura, who reaches for the 4th time in 5 plate appearances tonight. His 2nd walk of the day. And will constitute a mound visit between Brian Evans and Zach Dendecker. And it looks like Dendecker's day is done just like that.
So Zach Dendecker is out of the ball game. The Riptide go to the bullpen. Sean York is the new pitcher. We'll introduce you to him when we come back. 8-4 Orange County in front of the Barons here in the top of the 8th. Still in the top of the 8th inning, the Riptide make a call to the bullpen. Sean York, the righty, is the new pitcher in the ball game. There's runners on first and second here for the Barons, down by 4 runs. Sawamura is the runner on first. Ocampo's on second for the righty, Elijah Clayton. Pitch from York. Missed tie, ball 1. Clayton tonight, 0 for 3 with a walk. He's struck out twice. Sean York makes his 7th appearance. Looking for 2 outs to get out of this 8th inning. 0-1 home, swing and a miss. 0-2 count. Zach Dendecker started this inning off for the Riptide. He went just a third of an inning, gave up a hit, walked 1, and struck out 1, and he's responsible for both of the runners on right now. An ERA of 1.29 for Sean York through 7 innings pitched this year. 0-2. Up and inside underneath the elbow. The count is 1-2 against Clayton, the shortstop.
You'd assume that York would finish the rest of the 8th and go the 9th. One of just 2 pitchers left on the hot list for today. Other one is Brandon Weiland, who's playing second base for the injured Slater Nunez.
1-2 from York. Lined up the middle, into the glove of Weiland, who races towards second base, but Ocampo gets back. And Brandon Weiland records out number 2.
How about Brandon Weiland? Probably wasn't expecting to play in the infield today, but he had to come in with a shortage of infielders available after Nunez went out, and he makes a play defensively.
Here's Jackson Tyler, who's scored 2 of 4 runs tonight for the Barons. Pitch from York, and the righty Tyler takes a strike on the inside edge, 0-1. Tyler's been on 3 times today, but 2 of them were hit by pitches, and the other time was a walk. So still looking for his first hit of the night. York, the 0-1. Missed low. Evens the count 1-1. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Riptide 8, Barons 4. Riptide have a meeting with the Foresters in Santa Barbara tomorrow. The Barons will travel up to San Luis Obispo to take on the Blues.
You and I will be live on the call for that game in Santa Barbara. You can catch it on the OC Riptide Mixler page. Go to the Riptide website, click on radio, and it'll be there.
2 outs, the 1-1. Flared foul on the right side, count as 1-2. Gonna be a very interesting one. The Riptide and Foresters met on Thursday, and the Riptide mounted a 4-run comeback against the number 1 team in the CCL South.
The Riptide are 2-0 against the Foresters this season, so I'm sure Santa Barbara wants some measure of revenge tomorrow.
1-2 from York is fouled off. Redo 1-2. Well, you brought up the standings or the scores around the CCL earlier tonight. Oaks lost. That's big for the Riptide. Riptide and Barons, this is a big one for CCL standings. It's the Oaks, Riptide, and Barons that are all fighting for that number 1 seed in the CCL South come playoff time. 1-2, poked on the right side by the second baseman, Weiland. Around third comes Isaac Ocampo. He's in a score. And the Barons continue to chip away at the lead for the Riptide. It's 8-5 here in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, Jackson Tyler has certainly been a factor tonight. Reached in 3 of his first 4 plate appearances, the 2 hit by pitches and the walk. Gets on board for the first time tonight via a hit. And it's an RBI single here, just down to a 3-run ball game.
They'll score it an error by Brandon Weiland at second base. But it's an RBI for Jackson Tyler and a 3-run lead for Orange County. And up comes Jason Del Villar. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Pitch from York was low. Jackson Tyler took off. Pitch down a second. Throw down a second. Got him. Huge throw from Nate Pone, who's been excellent behind the plate catching. And that's out number 3 of the top of the 8th. Barons add 1 more. It's 8-5 Riptide leading as we head towards the bottom of the 8th. bottom of the 8th inning. Riptide lead it 8-5 against the Barons, who scored 1 run in the top of this inning. It's a 3-run lead that the Riptide are looking to protect, and Nate Pone starts the inning off against the right-handed pitcher Braden Wellen, who's in the ball game. Wellen fires strike 1. Count is 0-1 against Nate Pone, who Avi has had himself a night. 3 caught stealings for the Barons today.
3 caught stealings. He has a stolen base himself.
Wellen the 0-1. Up and in towards Nate Pone. It's a ball and a strike. Pone had a single in the 3rd. He stole a base like you just mentioned, and he came around to score.
So he's been nabbing base runners and base paths in today's game.
No outs, the 1-1. Missed low, and the count is 2-1 against Pone. Going to Utah Tech. Played at Fullerton College this past season. He came into tonight 0-for-1 against the Barons. He's currently 1-for-3 in this game. 2-1. Went around, and the count is 2-2. Wellen, 3 walks to 3 strikeouts. The opposing batters are hitting 182 against him.
Pone would love to get on base here. Riptide only up by 3 now, so some insurance would be helpful here in the 8th.
Here's the 2-2. And it missed inside. The count is 3-2.
Close pitch. Just couldn't get the call on the mound. Wellen went inside on the 2-2. We'll see if he tries to get Pone to chase outside with a count full.
Payoff pitch. Popped foul into the screening. Braden Wellen has pitched against the Riptide once this year. He went 2 innings and struck out 2. No runs. He's looking for 3 outs here and get the Barons' bats back up with a chance to tie and jump ahead. But first he has to shut down a really good Riptide lineup. Here's his 3-2. Appeal down to first, didn't go around. The pitch was a ball. So that's a walk for Nate Pone. And now he's been on twice.
It's been a great showcase offensively and defensively for Nate Pone. It's his 2nd trip to the base paths tonight via the walk.
Here's Trajan Rogowski, who has 2 singles and a hit by pitch in this game. The speedy Nate Pone is on first. He's already got a steal in this game. There goes Pone. Pitch is high. Throw down a second. Pone slides in head first safely.
I'm sure Campo wanted some revenge for all the runners that Pone has gotten out behind the dish tonight. Can't get it there. 2 stolen bases for Nate Pone in the game, his first 2 of the season. Had that stolen base in the non-league game against Malibu. Stats didn't count in that one, but here they are, 2 official steals.
He's in scoring position for Rogowski. Up and in. Some chin music there for Trajan Rogowski, 1-1.
How about the way he ducked away from the pitch? It's almost Matrix style out there in the batter's box.
Avoids getting hit. No outs, 1-1. Runner on second. Wellen glove in front of his chest. Here's the pitch. He missed outside. It's a 2-1 count against the center fielder Rogowski, who's committed to UConn. CCL All-Star here at the plate for the Riptide. Pitch was way high. It bounces off the screening, and an easy 90 feet for Nate Pone, who's on third. I think airmailed was an understatement there.
And that just looked like one of those baseballs where you don't have the grip on it and it slips away from you. So what happened there? It gets pwned to third, and some insurance 90 feet away for Orange County.
A lot of different ways Rogowski can get this run across for the Riptide. 3-1. Miss low through the legs of the catcher Ocampo. Pone slides, feet first, home safely. Riptide add one more run. It's 9-5 Orange County here in the bottom of the 8th.
Pair of wild pitches on the mound for Braden Wellen costs him greatly. First Pone gets to third, and he comes home. Rogowski works a walk. And a larger cushion for Orange County here with a 4-run lead.
Here's Jarrett Sable with no outs and Rogowski on first. The Riptide are in front 9-4 against the Barons. Pitch from Wellen. Caught Jarrett Sable in the elbow, and he's been hit by a pitch, and he takes his base.
It could have been a strike had Sable gone through the plane, but he was able to check his swing. The baseball caught him, and he's aboard at first.
The umpire crew will gather here just to the right of the mound. As it stands right now, Sable's on first and Rogowski's on second. And indeed, Jarrett Sable was hit by a pitch.
It's been a tough inning so far for Braden Wellen in his first inning of work. Walk, hit by pitch. And, of course, the stolen base and 2 wild pitches that got Pone around to score. Just can't seem to find an out here against these Riptide hitters.
Cooper Klauser comes up, the lefty. Went for 4 tonight, had an RBI single in the first. Popped one up to short, grounded out to first, and he struck out looking.
It was that single from Klauser in his first plate appearance that pushed his hitting streak to 6 games.
Wallen still looking for the first out. Klauser, big swing and a miss. 0-1. Bottom of the 8th inning, Riptide lead 9-5 against the Academy Barons. 2 runners on, and Klauser takes a pitch outside for ball 1.
On Wellen's last appearance, he gave up 2 runs and threw 2 walks. Already given up a 1 here and has matched those 2 walks.
One from him. Miss low, Ocampo picks it up. And it's a 2-1 count against Cooper Klauser. What a week it's been for the Riptide, Avi. They started off losing to the Blues and the Waves. A big win against the Foresters and another really gritty win against the Bombers last night. And if the score holds up, the Riptide on their way to a 3rd consecutive win as the 2-1 is taken for strike 2, 2-2.
It felt like the comeback on Thursday against Santa Barbara shifted the Riptide's momentum, not just this week, but for the entire season. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games entering that one. Had just 1 hit and 4 errors through 6 innings, but sparked the comeback effort. Dugout became vocal, team became revitalized.
Low and away, 3-2 against Klauser. This is a team in the Barons that the Riptide have struggled against this summer. Barons lead the series 3-1. All of the games have been pretty close. 3 out of the 4 games have been decided by 1 run. Klauser takes the 3-2 inside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded here for the Riptide.
Owen has 0 command out there on the mound. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get pulled soon. There's a pitcher warming up in the Barons bullpen. It's just a simple pitcher's meeting right now, but if he gives up another mistake, Barons already down by 4 runs. I'd be shocked if he stays in any longer.
We saw the Riptide have a really long bottom of the 3rd inning. They scored 7 runs on 6 hits. Riptide here in the 8th have the bases loaded One run has already come across, and that's all without recording a hit.
It's a long bus ride up to Santa Barbara tomorrow, so I'm sure Orange County wants to get out of here as soon as possible and get some sleep before they have to get up early and get on the bus. But I'll take a few more runs here if you can get them. You can delay the sleep if you're performing well offensively, and that's how it's been for the Riptide.
It's going to be an early bus, that's for sure, for the Riptide tomorrow morning. Barons themselves also have a track. They're going all the way up to San Luis Obispo. Approaching the 3-hour and 30-minute mark, the entire infield comes in here as Connor Barth, the righty, is up with the bases loaded and no outs in the bottom of the 8th. Riptide up by 4 runs. Mullen's first pitch. Up and behind Connor Barth, bangs off the backstop. Rogalski scores easily from third. Everybody moves up 1. And it's runners on second and third, and the Riptide lead 10-5 in the bottom of the 8th, and that's probably the day for Braden Wellen. It is indeed. So Wellen's out of the ball game. A call to the bullpen for the Barons. We'll step aside as the new pitcher gets warmed up. Lefty Travis Bergman's in the game. His first pitch missed high. It was a 1-0 count when Bergman entered, so that ball makes it a 2-0 count. No outs. Riptide have both runners in scoring position. 2-0. Called strike 1. 2-1 count. Not the inning that Braden Wellen wanted to have. Just command issues. Riptide have already had 2 runs come across as the 2-1 in the zone 2-2.
Walk, hit by pitch, walk. 3 wild pitches, both brought in the 2 runs on the scoreboard in the inning for the Riptide. Command not present on the mound from Wellen, and that's why Bergman's in the game. A guy that has 16 strikeouts to just 5 walks on the season, so no surprises. He whiffs Barth for 17.
And that is out number 1 here of the bottom of the 8th. And here comes Tatum Marsh, the righty.
It's a tough situation to come in. Runners in scoring position and no outs, but you get the strikeout and give your defense some confidence.
Bergman finds strike 1. Tatum Marsh tonight has a hit and 2 walks. 0-1. Catches the edge of the zone. 0-2. Good start to his inning for Bergman. Oh, 2. Fouled back by Marsh. Huge credit to super fan Keith, who's been here all night long. He's been vocal, and the Riptide have certainly fed off of his energy.
It's hard not to laugh up here. You can hear him all night. He's such a vocal guy, but it's great to have that kind of presence. Last time he was here, he started a "Let's Go Riptide" chant, which we also got on Thursday.
0-2 is poked through the left side of the infield. Sable scores from third. It's an RBI single for Tatum Marsh, and the Riptide lead it 11-5 here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's always great to have that fan support and bring the energy to Great Park, and it's a packed house tonight. The Riptide have certainly brought the energy back to their fans. All these runs on the scoreboard.
There's Alonzo Reyes. 1 out. Marsh on first. Klauser 90 feet from home. And Tatum Marsh takes a pitch high for ball 1. That hit, by the way, from Tatum Marsh was the first hit this inning from the Riptide. 1-0 missed low, 2 balls, no strikes.
There's those 4 free passes given up by Well, and finally the hit for Marsh brings in a run. If you're Bergman, you just got to do anything you can to get out of this inning. I'm sure he's looking for a double play here with the lefty-lefty matchup and an out.
He finds a strike, though. 2-0 is lifted, foul on the left side. Reyes, when he was last up in the 7th, had a single. Here's the 2-1 lifted to left, and the catch is made by Tyler. Klauser tags from third, throw home, not in time, and the Riptide add another run. It's 12-5 here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's a productive out there from Lonzo Reyes. Sacrifice fly out to left field. Second sac fly of the game for the Riptide. Of course, Connor Barth had the one in the first inning to get the first run on the board. It's been a long time since then. That 7-run third inning feels like forever ago since Barth's sac fly, and it's because of those 12 runs out there for Orange County.
Here's Hunter Harrington. Harrington had a double in the 3rd, but he's also struck out 3 times. He swings and misses for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch, fouled back, 0-2. Travis Bergman, a chance to find the 3rd out of the 8th inning here. In a 7-run ball game. 0-2. Missed high. A ball and 2 strikes against the left fielder going to Stanford. Hunter Harrington played at Cathedral Catholic High School this past season. 1-2 is called strike 3. That's out number 3 of this bottom of the 8th, but Orange County rallies for 4 runs, and they're in front 12-5 as we head to the 9th. Orange County will look for 3 outs when we come back. Top of the ninth inning, Riptide lead 12-5 against the Barons. Sean York is out there for his second inning of work. It's Del Villar, Sanders, and Lujan. Two righties and a switch hitter here for the Barons. Looking for 7 runs. Here's the pitch from York. Fouled back, 0-1. It's been a good night for Jason Del Villar. 3 hits, all of them singles. York strides and deals. It's fouled, and the count is 0-2. We've officially passed the 3-hour and 30-minute mark. Orange County just looking for 3 outs here to end the ball game with a 12-5 lead against the Barons.
Both these teams have a long bus ride tomorrow. 3 hours from here to Santa Barbara, 4 hours from Compton up to Slow.
And the 0-2 is swung on and missed. That's out number 1 of the 9th inning. It's the 9th strikeout tonight from Riptide pitchers.
Good strikeout there from Sean York. It's the first out and a tough hitter in Del Villar. Nick Sanders due up.
Nick Sanders had a hit in the 5th. That was a single. He reached via a fielder's choice, and he's also driven a run in. Here's a righty-on-righty matchup. York fires a ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Riptide and Barons in their 5th meeting of the year. York the 1-0. Wave and a miss, 1-1. Orange County and the Barons will face each other next on July 24th. That's in the last week of the summer, and that could potentially be a really big matchup for playoff standings.
We were looking at the Riptide schedule the rest of the way through, and it's not too bad for them. Of course, 2 games against Santa Barbara, the game in Compton against the Barons, and then that final game at Slow. But you get the Philippines twice, you get Arroyo Seco 3 times, Bombers and the Waves once. It's a tougher schedule for both Conejo and the Barons down the stretch than it is for Orange County when you look at their respective opponents. So if the Riptide can get those expected wins, they should be in a good spot come postseason time.
1-2 count against Sanders. Pitch from York. Miss low, 2-2. Orange County is in a good spot if they can take care of business the rest of the way. Securing the number 1 seed in the playoffs is huge because that means you get the first round bye and you get to host the semifinal matchup at home. As a 2-2 from York. Into the opposite batter's box, count is full.
Of course, the CCL championship game is up north this season, so if the Riptide do win that semifinal game, they'll be taking a trip up somewhere north, whether it's Walnut Creek or Slow, another contender up there.
3-2. Ground ball. Bobbled by Reyes at third base, and it allows Sanders to reach. There's a runner on first with 1 out in the top of the 9th for the Barons.
Superfan Keith is happy with that one. He was chanting both Let's Go Riptide and Let's Go Barons. Wants to keep the game going a little longer.
You can hear it there through our crowd mic, the chants from Superfan Keith, and he's got a strong voice. Here's Antonio Lujan, the switch hitter, batting left-handed against the righty Sean York. He takes ball number 1.
I'm sorry. The Superfan Keith is just hilarious. Always good to have him at the ballpark. I believe one time you said that the Barons gifted him a jersey. Is that correct?
That is true. That happened last year. He's not wearing it tonight, though.
I love how he's just rooting for a good game at this point. 12-5 the score, 2 outs left. Just rooting for everybody out there.
Antonio Lujan looks for his first hit tonight.
1-1. Fouled off on the left side. A ball and 2 strikes to count against Lujan.
York looks to find out number 2. There's a runner on first. That's Sanders. 1-2 pitch. Sanders takes off. Fly ball out towards left field. Hunter Harrington works back. Makes the catch. 2 away in the 9th.
Well, Sanders was aggressive on the base paths there. He's trying to get into scoring position, get across somehow. But the fly out over to left field forced him to get back to first. Barons down to their final out.
Mark Emmerman hopes to keep this game going for the Barons. Sean York wants to find that 3rd and final out and end this ball game. 12-5 Riptide, top of the 9th. Sanders on first. Here's Emmerman. Pitch missed the zone low. 1 ball, no strikes. Emmerman singled in the 4th. It's a 1-for-4 day for him. Hit into that double play in the 5th as well. 1-0 from York. Lined off of the pitcher, York on the mound. It rolls towards third base. Reyes picked it up, flipped to second. Not in time, but a scary play there for the pitcher as it was just a shot right back to him.
It looked like it hit off the front of York's glove, bounced onto the grass. Riptide couldn't make a play. This game goes on.
It's a single by Mark Emmerman to keep the Barons alive. And with 2 outs and 2 runners on, this is the catcher, Isaac Ocampo.
My goodness, I'm sorry.
That's strike 1 from York.
It's impressive how one voice can carry throughout the entire show. We're in the press box and there's glass, and we can still hear Superfan Keith out there. But it's been a long game. I like how he's still bringing the energy here late. It's keeping us awake.
0-1, swing and a miss, and the Barons down to their final strike.
It's been a rocky inning for York. Runners at first and second. Hasn't given up a run yet. Can get out of here clean and send the Riptide home happy. Both teams can get some much-needed rest before Orange County goes up to Santa Barbara and the Barons go up to Slow.
2 outs, 2 runners on. The 0-2. Towards the dirt, and it's a 1-2 count against Ocampo. He's reached twice today, once via an error and another time via a single. Emmerman's on first and Sanders on second. They both reached via hits as well. 1-2 pitch. Popped right back to the left of the mound. York bobbled. Reyes picks it up. Fires to first. In time. That's the final out of the ball game. A marathon of a game. The Riptide come out on top 12-5 against the MLB Academy Barons.
It was a long road from start to finish, all about the 7-run 3rd inning that the Riptide have had. What a turn of events this week. You dropped the first 2 games, first on Tuesday against Slow, then on Wednesday against the Waves. Make a miraculous comeback on Thursday against the best team in the CCL and the Santa Barbara Foresters. Walk-off win yesterday, and then a 7-run 3rd inning to power you to a 12-5 win today. And it all culminates in another showdown with Santa Barbara tomorrow.
Riptide with the win have won 3 straight. They're now 20-10 on the season. The Barons fall to 13-11. That'll do it for us here in Irvine. Final score, Riptide 12, Barons 5. On behalf of Avi Singh, I've been Aiden Pham. Good night, everybody.